do it. Let's get down to it. It's Mornings with Matt and Bob, powered by Chuy. Deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's begin, shall we? Shall we? Everybody roll their mats out. And let's get in the downward dog position, all right, to start the show. Today's starting lineup, the man straight ahead, well, the man that just left the room. The hardest working man in show business. Working so hard, he's not even here at the beginning of the show. He's running around, doing paperwork. He is a heavyweight champ in every aspect of his life, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you what, he's got a warehouse of aspects. A warehouse of interests. Not the least of which is being the producer of this great radio program. He takes your phone calls on the fly, keeps the levels where they should be, just under the red, and puts up the podcasts, scolds the interns. And I don't know what he does when he goes upstairs. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the incomparable Mr. Chuy Eldorado. Yeah, I need a new pair of headphones now. All right, the man to my right, what can I say? We had a nice nosh yesterday afternoon with Mr. DBK, Daniel Van Kirk, Chuy, me, and the man right here, the former star of episodic television, ladies and gentlemen, that's still making headlines in our fair city. As Austin's greatest living storyteller. He's back on the stage. We don't know where he's going to appear next. You don't know. It's one of life's great mysteries. But he's performed across this great land from coast to coast, ladies and gentlemen. And now we get him every morning. What can I say? My good friend and one of Austin's national treasures. Wait, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Austin's national treasures? Anyway, we'll let it stand.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just making stuff up.
The judges will allow it, ladies and gentlemen. The marvelous Mr. Matt Bearden right here.
Grazie, gang. Hey, we're about to start, but before we do, how about we introduce that guy who you just heard? This is his favorite time of the day, the morning time. Come in here, settling down. I think this is the part he enjoys the most. He's playing hurt today, and that's one of the things that makes him an amazing man. He comes in here and he's like, hey, I'm not my best. I'm going to give it my best, though. And I said, that's all we need. Because even if you're 10%, that's better than 90% in the nation. A lot of it has to do with the fact that everybody else in radio has been fired. But I still want to give him the compliment that he's earned. That's a knowing. That's what that is, ladies and gentlemen. He's a member of the Texas Radio Hall of Fame, which is not an easy feat.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
You generally have to be dead or have done 70 years or something like that. Easy. Or here's the thing. How about this? He might be the only person in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame who never worked in country radio.
That's true.
That is very true.
That's true.
Very true. Man, they love the country radio over there. Almost as much as he loves hi-fi, loves his family, loves Bruce Springsteen, and loves you, the listener. He's the progenitor of the Bob Fonseca Rock and Roll News. Do me a favor. The Bob Father himself, put your hands together for Bob Fonseca.
No, I think I'm okay. I think the coffee hit me a little hard this morning. I just got a little weird shaky when I came in. Maybe it was the weather. A little kind of misting out there. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Huh? It's like someone's got a bottle of Windex in front of your face and it's just squirting you.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not Windex.
What's her name?
Climate's changing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's no lie, G.I.
Hey, what if the climate change turned into where it was never dry again? It was always moist.
Yeah, what if it got better?
It can. Things can change.
I guess actually that would just be like being in Vietnam, right? There are certain countries where it's just always
moist. Things are always green. A little too green. And big creatures and things like that.
Seattle like that, I guess? Where does it rain a lot?
I feel like it's drizzly there, but it's not. I don't think it has but it doesn't feel like that human moist, does it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I've only been there once.
I've only been there once. I don't know why I'm speaking like I know what goes on there.
I'm fine, though. I think I went to bed late, too. My wife went to Madonna last night, and I guess she had a good time.
Well, why didn't you go with her? She
went with a gaggle of
ladies.
Can you say that? That's not demeaning. It's not demeaning, is it?
I mean, if you had just said she went with a gaggle, we would know what you meant.
She went with a flock
A pack of animals.
What is something? No, what's something that's like she went with a bouquet of ladies.
Ooh, I like that. That saves you, but we all know.
Like 20 ladies in a sky, and they were in the skybox, which I can't seem to get. I can't seem to get into.
Tell your wife
You know
to
what
get
I mean?
you in there.
I can't seem to get those credentials, but she warned me. She says I'm going to be home late, and I go, this is kind of suspect. And she left the house all dressed up. Noticed her lipstick was a little redder than usual. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this why you were up late last night? Because you couldn't just go to bed with it? You had to wait till she got home?
Actually, Dylan drove her there and picked her up. So that was cool.
Oh, you sent her like in the 1800s, you sent her with a chaperone.
Yes. No, well, he didn't stay. He came home and hung out with me, and we were watching YouTube videos and stuff. But anyway, the point is, I don't know if you heard about this Madonna show. It's completely weird, and I don't know what the pretense was or what the expectations were, but Madonna didn't go on till 10:30 at night, and that was expected.
She's young, haven't you?
But
seen
I don't
her?
understand that in an arena situation where you're paying a bunch of employees. Normally, now when I worked at the Frank Irwin Center for the 4 or 5 or 6 years that I worked there, and we had pretty much a show maybe every other night, big show, rock shows usually. It was mandated that the shows were going to start on time, maybe 10, 15 minutes late at the most. And then it was going to be shut down by 10:30 or 11 because you don't want to be paying the ushers and all those people overtime.
Okay.
Right? It's a business.
Right.
I know people think that, oh, my goodness, rock music, it's so spontaneous. If the artist wants to just play forever, let him play. No, there's responsibilities. There's people that have to be paid. There's security. There's stuff that has to be loaded into trucks to go into the next city and all that stuff.
If Madonna be the food of life.
So how Madonna got away with starting it, and I don't know what time the doors opened at the Moody, but...
so what, did they have, like, DJs playing beforehand?
I've got to ask her. Maybe she can call us and give us a report. But so Madonna didn't take the stage till 10:30 on either night. I think she did 2 nights. And also... she had it in her rider, I guess, that she wanted the air conditioning turned off in the arena. So it was extremely hot. My wife had already heard about this from someone that went the night before and bought fans for everyone in her bouquet of ladies that went.
But she's purposefully torturing...
I don't know. Now, when I worked in the arena business, we had some weird things. We had Diana Ross that came through. And she demanded that every place she walked in the Irwin Center, hallways,
Purple lights.
Purple light bulbs. She would only, and there was a lot of black curtaining put up so people couldn't see her walking about. But wherever she walked, there had to be purple light. Barry Manilow had to have the temperature of the arena at exactly 72 degrees, if I remember. Neil Diamond always had to have a sellout. Yeah. Now, if that meant we had to go down on South Congress and pass out tickets to get that sellout for free, he did not want to look at one empty seat.
Richard Gere had to have a little bag of gerbil
So
feed.
these demands are being made all the time. But
Rod Stewart had to have a pint of...
Why would you make your audience uncomfortable by turning off the air conditioning on such a humid...
Or bringing your boyfriend.
Night. I don't know.
Maybe she's like, I want this to feel like clubs. I want this to feel like the clubs that we used to dance in New York back in the day.
I don't know. My wife said the show was very good. The production was very good. And I go, how were the tracks? Were the tracks clear?
Her boyfriend's very sexy.
You think she's doing anything?
Who? Jennifer's?
No.
You met him?
No. Madonna's boyfriend.
Oh,
Anyway.
you haven't met Jennifer's boyfriend yet?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, neither's Bob.
Anyway, I think she had a better time than she expected. I guess she didn't know what to expect with Madonna. Because, the Madonna of today is not the Madonna of old, is she?
Get into the groove, boy. You've got to prove your love to me.
Tell that to her 29-year-old boyfriend.
But I don't know. She said it was like Bikram yoga hot in there, in the Moody Center. That does not seem pleasant. And I don't know if it's for her voice or if it's just a star flex.
If it's cold, her bones hurt.
I was going to say, I think older ladies feel cold all the time.
Well, she might be already having hot flashes.
That's their thing.
How old is it? Legitimately, how old is Madonna now? She's
65. Her boyfriend's 29.
No, she's not 65.
65. Her boyfriend's 29.
You have a problem with that?
No, I love it. I'm very happy for it. I'm sad for him, but I'm very happy.
Why are you sad for him?
The same way like Robert De Niro, has a...
youngin'.
It's not fun, but I hope it pays off.
My wife has a youngin'.
Wish it was me.
Have you even tried? Have you even applied?
I don't know. Does she? I mean, it's probably usually a dancer. He's actually a heavyweight boxer, so...
Sure is. Of course. I mean, of course. That makes sense.
I wonder if he hits them heavy bags.
Anyway, I guess she had a great time. I don't know. I wasn't up when she got home, so I couldn't download the. I don't know.
Call,
anybody.
but block the number and let's go. Hey, babe, it was a great time last night, wasn't it? And if she goes, then you know you got a problem at the house. You know.
I felt like a virgin.
I didn't.
There's no problems.
Hey, I told you calling me at the house is going over the borderline.
I don't know any other songs.
I'm out of. I know. I'm out of.
Like a virgin. Papa don't preach. Wonder if she played that. That's my favorite. I think. I'm in trouble deep.
The last thing I remember her releasing was a song called "Ray of Light." I want to say it was around 2000. No, 1998.
That was like 2003. I was. That was on MTV.
Yeah, I remember that one, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's back."
She looked sexy in that one. She was.
But that's the last thing I remember.
And then Girls Want to Have Fun.
Vogue is probably the most.
Vogue, yeah.
Did you just say Girls Want to Have Fun?
I know, I was just seeing if anybody would stop me.
Material Girl.
Oh, yeah.
My Name is Luca. Brass in Pocket. That was a good one.
She did have a lot of songs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she definitely had a big impact.
Fast Cars was a good one.
Is she in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Don't know the
That's
answer
a
to
good
that
question. Probably should be. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Big hits, big impact.
Yeah.
She'd have a big impact, dude. She changed the way she changed what every mall looked like. Do you realize that she was so big that every mall suddenly had these little wheelie things that they'd put out? I mean, every store in the mall had these little wheelie things they'd put right there in the concourse.
Yeah.
That had all kinds of dangly bangles and stuff like that. Because girls.
I don't know anybody other than the Beatles that maybe had that impact on fashion. Like, people didn't. When David Bowie hit or T-Rex or whatever, people guys weren't walking around with, glam. Some guys did, but not everybody. And that wasn't as ubiquitous as Madonna's impact on young ladies.
And it was ridiculous stuff, too. There's no practical use to a fingerless lace glove, but all the girls in my middle school had them.
Right.
Those were pretty hot, though. Those are hot still, honestly. In fact, there's a genre of thing.
A genre of what?
Things with people with gloves on.
Anyway,
like that.
I want to know how hot it was in there. If anybody was there last night, like, was it?
If it was going to be mostly
hot?
ladies, like, you know how cold women are? They're constantly cold.
So you think 80. She was doing it for the fans and
no, for her?
For her. Well,
wait,
she's
you
a
just
lady.
called her fans old, bro?
Well, no,
that's a move right there. I'll tell you that.
I'm saying
that's ballsy.
a lot of her fans are women of a certain age. They were in their 20s when she broke, which was in what, 80 what? Let's say they were 20 and 80. When did Madonna break? 84?
84 was Like a Virgin.
86 is the year I bowled with her boyfriend.
How old was he? Was he younger than the one?
No,
currently?
I think Jelly Bean was about the same age.
Hell yeah.
He was a cool dude, though.
My man.
We got along. I was like, for half a second, I think we're going to be friends.
Wait, Jelly Bean. I was thinking Jelly Roll, and I was like, there's
Jelly
no way
Bean.
that he came from then.
Look him up. Jelly Bean.
A lot of different
Jelly
jellies.
Bean Benitez was like the who's the guy that Selena Gomez married?
Yeah,
Benny Blanco.
He's like the Benny Blanco of his age. He was like the Mark Ronson of his age.
Not conventionally attractive.
No, he was a good looking PR dude, I think.
Bob, do you have an opportunity to float a law tiger?
New copy there. Anyway, Stylin' and Sturgis. That's a good a good contest.
And just a warning, we've gotten in this show in the 2 years we've been doing this iteration. There was in the original set outs We were already supposed to have played like 2 tracks. We've talked over that space. We're just giving them more. We're giving the company more and more and more of ourselves for free. I just want to warn you all. Because we're starting, like, even the podcast lengths are getting close to like 3 hours, right, Chuy? Is that what you told me?
Yeah.
It's 3 hours every day.
You know, we're going longer. We're going sometimes 10:30, 10:15, whatever.
I just want to warn you, because if we want to go back to torturing the listeners with like 8 or 9 songs an hour, we can do that. And nobody's going to say anything except for the fans.
I kind of just want to do it when I want to hear some music. Sometimes I'll just see something pop up in the computer and go, hey, I'd like to hear Smashing Pumpkins. Not.
Well, erase it right now. Hit that. See that little trash can in the bottom left?
I'll go ZZ all the. I'll go Tom Petty.
Wait, do you see that trash can?
If this was just a Tom Petty show, I'd be good with it. I think he's got enough songs and enough different formats and tempos that you could actually make it work.
Do you see that? Wait, what did you just do?
Oh, got rid of it.
Okay. Why did you get? I'm going to teach you how to do it. See that trash can in the bottom left? Push that trash can.
That's a trash can?
The red thing?
I thought that was a can of beans.
Okay. Will you push the can of beans?
Wait a minute. What's going to happen?
Nothing.
Is it going to shock me?
There.
Yeah.
Now, you see the trash can next to Bullet with butterfly wings? Hit that trash can. Now go back and hit the original.
Now LA is going to be all mad at me.
No, he's not at all. He doesn't care.
That's all showing up.
Oh, he's a Pumpkins fan.
He doesn't look. He said, "Do whatever he said, keep on doing whatever we're doing."
Okay.
Well, you know what the
I think when you have a 15,
you can do whatever you want to. Continuation of yesterday's Click Click Boom. Today we're just focusing on Chuy. Remember, if you've done half of these things, you're a boomer. We're going through one of those little quizzes.
Ah, yes.
Yesterday we did the whole show, and we did 7 of the 10. Now we're going to do, for this next 10, we're going to do just Chuy, then we'll do me, and then we'll do Bob. Make sense? So, Chuy, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want your honest answer.
No lie. We got it.
First question is, have you ever balanced a checkbook? I've done that. I've never done that. Never heard of that.
I've had one, and I've written a couple checks, but I've never balanced one.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Have you heard of balancing a checkbook?
Yeah, you just add everything up.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
I'm not a boomer, but I'm also not a millennial.
There's always
I've never balanced a checkbook in my life.
It's a bunch of terminology that kind of turns all of us lower IQ people, not lower IQ, but lesser educated people off. But balancing a checkbook makes it sound like whatever. Well, I heard somebody say, yeah, I built a computer.
What it does
I didn't know all that stuff just snapped in there. Bitch, you ain't smart.
I did it when I was young and life was simpler, but it was more of a peace of mind thing that the bank wasn't stealing from you. Now, I think generally they don't make many mistakes, but I guess it could happen. They never make the mistake where they dump money into your account.
They don't do that.
But I guess you're afraid that they're taking out more than they should, and so you balance your check. And I used to do it to the penny, but that's when life was simpler. I couldn't imagine doing it now. Because of the time, you would sit down for an hour, and you would get to book out, and you would, get your statement out.
Yes.
And you would compare, and then you would go, sometimes you'd go to bed with like a 3-cent difference, and you couldn't figure it out, and it drove you insane. 3 cents. Don't do it. Don't balance your checkbook.
I don't think anybody
White lines.
had it
Don't
exactly balanced at all times.
Yeah. But some people have to do it to have that peace of mind so they can sleep.
Those people are crazy.
And do you complain to the bank and be like, hey, this is off? I'm supposed to have this much, and they took your math correct, or they just had to?
I don't know. Believe me, they always have an answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't look at me. I already told you. I've never balanced a checkbook, so I don't know what happens. Never. Even when I wrote checks, I never did.
They're never like,
I was like, I don't get it.
You're right. Here's your money back. They're always like, well, according to line 6 of your, customer agreement,
There used to be a phone number you would call. And when you call the phone number, you'd put in a code, then you'd type in your account, and then it would be your balance as of Tuesday, April 16th is minus $12.28. And that's how I knew what my balance is. I would call all the time. And then when I had my ATM card, you could go and check balance. And then here's a weird thing they started doing. Not a weird, it just is a vicious thing. They would charge you $1 to check your balance.
Oh. Also,
So sometimes you check your balance And when you checked your balance, that charged you $1, and it would reduce your balance to like $19.97, which meant you couldn't take money out because you could only take out in denominations
How
of 20.
much were overdraft fees then?
$15, $25.
The other thing is there's usually two balances on your statement or whatever. One is like your balance, and the one is your usable balance. And I guess if you have a debit card, sometimes they put holds. If you use your debit card for, say, in a hotel or something like that, they're going to, for some reason, I don't know why that's different than a credit card. I guess because it's your bank account. They can put holds on it. And now your balance is all messed up, I guess.
They didn't even teach us in school like the balancing checkbook thing.
No.
And they should every rich kid knows about investing
you a carbon
and everything.
copy
There
guy?
needs to be one class in high school.
Or are you
That's
a
called
register
Rich
guy?
Daddy, Poor Daddy, or whatever.
Do you register your checks in that little book, or do you have the carbon copies?
I don't know.
No.
Some didn't come with the carbon copy.
You have to ask for it. Costs
Yeah,
more.
it costs more. You probably never had it.
I've always wanted the fun pictures that are on the checks. Some balloons.
I always thought that was stupid.
Why?
Don't entertain me. I'm just trying to pay.
Grow up.
I don't need
Grow
Mickey
up.
Mouse.
You're just trying to buy
I don't
something.
need Looney Tunes or a picture of a stagecoach
But
on my
it's my
check.
personality. Look, take a look.
No, I'm
just
not. Regular,
I'm
that
running
regular
a register.
green.
I'm running a register for $6.72 an hour right now. I don't give an F what's.
No,
Also,
just
do you
give me
think
that-
you're original? I see this Mickey Mouse balloon thing every sixth check.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You know what?
Give me this light
I'm
green.
gonna tip 'em. How much?
The
I'm gonna
light
tip you
green with the
$1
little
with a check.
ripples in it or whatever. I don't need to be.
That's why your credit card's so thin.
Oh.
Your black card.
Oh, damn, dude.
You got to care and do
He
the
just
big
zoomed you
thick
hard,
one.
bro.
No, your wife was critical.
It was funny.
No, my wife was critical of because I use my debit card, and it's got the big old bank logo. It doesn't look classy at all. It doesn't look.
And when you're
there's
going
nothing,
to big places,
Yeah.
I went with the
No.
Schmitz.
Right.
You need the big.
Let me
You
see
need
it.
to hear it.
Let me see your
drop.
card.
No, you're going to steal the
Let me
number.
turn the
off of it.
microphone up. Drop
Let me
it
see
on
it.
the
That's
ground.
what I throw down. I know.
It kind of floats like a feather down to the table.
Look, listen to it. Listen to it fall.
Yeah,
Like
that is.
I've had people give me business cards that are thicker and heavier than
Have you
that.
had that since the savings and loan scandal? What is that thing?
Listen,
There ain't nothing in that.
I don't know.
Well, I'd rather have checks with Mickey Mouse balloon on it, man. Oh,
Next one.
Oh yeah, we're doing a show here. We're not,
Number 2.
I feel like we're on Mad Money.
Sorry, yeah, we got to.
number 2, Chuy. Have you ever looked up a phone number in the phone book? You ever use a phone book to find a phone number? I've done that. I've never done that. I've
I
never heard
remember
of that.
phone books, and I remember looking through it, but I've never. Oh, wait, yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Probably when I was really young, like 10.
He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He did it. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
I used to use a Mapsco when I was doing the doo-doo trucks.
Have you ever watched the episode of Dallas where they revealed who shot JR?
No,
I
that
did.
was before me, I think.
But you know that they shot JR, right?
I did get the references in other pop culture and shows.
Have you ever watched the final episode of MASH?
No, it looked really boring, so I didn't watch it.
It's a tearjerker.
Should I watch it today?
Yeah.
I mean, you should probably watch some of the show too. I wouldn't watch just that episode because I think you'd.
I don't want to get too invested.
Little trivia on the MASH television show, not the movie. No laugh track in the surgery room.
And that's where the funniest stuff was happening.
Dang.
When the time that the guy just keeps pulling on intestines, and they
they
just
won't
keep
stop?
coming,
Yeah.
they just keep coming. It's like. Have you ever eaten at McDonald's when the food came in styrofoam packaging?
How much of the? I thought only some of the stuff did, like fillet of fish.
So there was a time I remember when the hotcakes came in a styrofoam.
That's all. That's all I remember.
That's
was
all I
hotcakes.
remember.
Doesn't
with
that
hotcakes.
still come in a?
No, it's plastic.
So-
See-through, too, so you can see it.
So, should I put you down as I've done that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done
I
that.
remember that.
The hotcakes were definitely styrofoam, but not the whole.
And the fillet of fish was definitely, it had that weird aqua net green, blue green styrofoam.
All right.
Because they had to keep that kind of
Now, this is a weird memory.
moist.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Because I do remember these. Do you remember the disposable pressed? I guess they were probably made out of aluminum, like a little thicker than aluminum foil. But the McDonald's ashtrays that they would have set out.
Oh, yeah. They were kind of stamped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten at a McDonald's when smoking inside was allowed?
I'm trying to think because I had a time in my life where after church every Saturday night, my grandma, we used to go to Hardee's, but then that closed down. So then we would go to McDonald's, and there was always these 3 old men.
Yeah.
I think that's where I fell outside because there's a sliding pole on the playground.
Yeah.
Where I fell on my back.
Couldn't hold that body weight, huh?
And I think that's where my fear of heights come from.
Was falling on that pole?
Mm-hmm.
When did we stop smoking in movie theaters and airplanes? Was that the 80s? Because I think when I was doing...
Like you have a couple of cousins that they are good with the pole, right?
No.
Weren't we still smoking on airplanes in the 80s? I feel like when I was flying with Southwest in the day, guys were still lighting up on planes.
I remember being on a British Airways plane, and there was a smoking section.
Yeah.
But not like it was you had to stand in the back of the plane to smoke. You couldn't smoke at your seat.
Was there like ventilation or something?
I don't know.
No, there wasn't ventilation.
No,
That's the ridiculous thing about it.
Everybody was affected. But
when I was flying to Nigeria, you'd be on these international flights. But when you'd go back to the bathroom, there'd be like 8 or 9 guys huddled in this little, like where the bathrooms are? Like 8 or 9 guys huddled together smoking cigarettes. I just remember.
I remember people smoking in movie theaters.
Well, that's the weirdest thing to me.
And then
the idea
the picture being projected through all the smoke.
That's so weird to me.
I'm pro you having, a smoking theater or a smoking just don't have us in it. Have a specific
but it lingers.
section or whatever.
It
lingers.
But
like
we're
the
not going
Cranberries
in
said.
there.
Are you saying one theater is always a smoking theater?
Yeah. And that's where all the smokers go if they want. Sometimes I'd like to, smoke.
I think the whole ecosystem in the building is messed up. If it's going through the air conditioning vents and everything, I don't know.
So should I put you down as I've done that, as to go into a McDonald's that had smoking in it, or I've never done that?
It's so hard for me to recall, but
They were
I'm going to call it a no. No, unless you can clearly remember.
Weren't those ashtrays gold?
Yeah.
Like a bronze or a light gold or something? And they were stamped out of sheet
I want
metal?
to say like when
Exactly.
I was like 5 or something or 6, but I can't say for sure.
I remember when the McDonald's over here on Burnett Road, the original double arches one?
Yeah.
Like old school.
Uh-huh.
You used to be able to watch them cut the French fries from the. It had like a U-shaped seating area around the kitchen, and the kitchen was all glass, and you could watch them.
Where was that?
At Burnett Road when I moved
The
here.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
What kind of weird thing were they trying there?
Well, they were, a long time ago, or not too long ago, whenever it was, they were still cutting their French fries. I mean, I think P. Terry's does it now,
Yeah.
but McDonald's used to
lots
do
of
it.
good places do, but I don't. Yeah. Hey, how about this one? Are you ready?
Okay, all right.
Do you know who Mr. Whipple is?
Oh, good question.
Is that a
He
dessert?
was a friendly old cuss.
A
wasn't he?
dessert brand of some
No.
sort?
Now I'm going to give you another hint.
Mr. Whipple.
Ladies, please don't squeeze the Charmin.
I'm guessing it was a mascot for Charmin?
Okay, so you don't know who
You
that
don't know.
is.
You have no idea.
I'm putting him down as never heard of that for the
He
Mr.
was a
Whipple.
very uptight grocery store manager or something.
What show was
that
he
went
in?
around the aisles telling the women not to squeeze the Charmin.
Yeah, pull
toilet
him up
paper.
on YouTube. Mr.
Oh, I
Whipple,
see it.
Whipple.
What a creep.
No, he wasn't a creep. He was looking after.
Fine, run it up. Tex, can you help me stop those ladies from squeezing Charmin bathroom tissue? Reckon I can. Now, you women folk.
Is that Jerry Reed?
Yeah.
Charmin.
But Charmin's so soft.
Is he gonna punch that woman?
Irresistible, has deep down squeezable softness.
It smells good, too.
Please don't squeeze the Charmin. Be out of town by sundown.
Wasn't he?
Mr.
That's not Gail Gordon. He reminds me. I want to say he was a character actor in Lucy, but
I like this.
He was in. I think he was in Lucy.
but I'm thinking
Let
of
me
Gail
see.
Gordon.
I can tell you if he
maybe.
was in Lucy or not.
That's back when ladies shopped wearing gloves. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Why did they wear gloves?
he wasn't Mr. Mooney. He looks a little like Mr. Mooney. I only know that who Mr. Mooney is because in my dad's old folks' home,
Mr. Whipple
they
would
play a lot of the Lucy show.
Mr. Whipple would always yell at the ladies, and then ladies would love squeezing the Charmin because it was so soft, and he'd tell them not to. But every time he'd kick him out, and then he would take the Charmin away from him, he couldn't resist squeezing it himself. Mr. Whipple.
Oh yeah.
What were the gloves about? Was prostate play a little more accepted?
We were
No, like
listen.
people
We were
used to
more
dress up,
refined
people used to-
society.
yeah.
Not like today where you just put on some cutoffs with your hanging out and you.
Americans
And
used to
Madonna
have
cut the
respect.
fingers off of these, and for women.
Americans used to have respect for themselves and for and for others.
You should see how we dressed when we flew.
Do you remember when sagging used to be you wore your pants down where part of your underwear and buttocks showed?
Yeah.
This weekend, I realized how old I've become because this kid was doing a sagging thing where his pants were not the sag where the pants are
Yeah.
right here, but
Down.
his pants were down
Yeah,
here,
under the.
like mid thigh, and I was like, that's not even practical to walk that way, right?
Neither is fashion. No kind of fashion is practical.
I'm just saying, we used to
Pull your pants up,
Yeah. That's what I did. I went up to him and I said, young man,
look, man.
Do you know?
I wouldn't generally approach a man and tell him how to dress, but obviously if you don't respect yourself, I don't need to respect you either.
How do you keep
Pull
them
your
on?
pants up now.
When it's below the curve of your.
They were like sweatpants, and he had tied them real tight.
But then you have to waddle like a duck.
I know.
Don't
I
you?
know. He's exactly what he had to do. It was a very
No,
odd thing to
There's
watch.
no reason for Madonna to have pointy bras. You're going to poke someone's eye out.
And I remember thinking,
it's fashion.
I remember looking at him and going, this is ridiculous. What the hell is he thinking? And then I saw two grown adults. Like, the whole sagging thing, that generation has continued to grow, and they're now 45 years old and still sagging.
Pictures of old times, I got reminded of like how everybody was kind of dressed and a little more, I guess, dignified is
Right.
what you would say.
Yeah. Like a suit and a hat everywhere they went.
I was trying to imagine, and I asked my friend, I was like, is this what millennials are going? Were we still going to dress the same at like 60 in the Senate? And be
Yeah, I don't know.
like, what is? Because they were all dressed dignified in their like 20s of like whatever suits and everything, and they kind of just took that style with them there.
Yeah, what you're saying is, are we going to eventually see a president going from town to town campaigning wearing Crocs
And sweatpants.
and sweats?
No, hey, dudes.
I think it's a little more intimidating.
Have you ever gotten traveler checks before traveling abroad?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you've traveled abroad, have you?
No. Me and the broads don't.
Now, have you ever heard of traveler's checks?
I don't. I guess they're just international money. They just
No, it's
exchange
more
it?
than that. The thing was, the promise was, the selling point was that if you got robbed, you got pickpocketed, say in Italy, where they're wont to do that,
Really?
then you could call up the traveler's checks company, give them the numbers of the checks or the bills or whatever, the checks they called them, and they would refund your money.
Right.
You can't do that with money. When it's gone, it's gone.
Okay.
It's whoever's holding it in his hand at that particular time is the owner of that money. But with traveler's checks, apparently, and I don't know how it never happened to most people. I don't know how difficult the process was of getting your money back. I'm sure they put
it's
you
a pain
through.
in the ass.
I know. I think they probably put you through a lot.
You ever heard of traveler's checks?
I have heard of them, but
Okay.
And then you would go overseas, and some places going, "No, we don't take American Express, and we don't take traveler's checks.
I think I heard it on Seinfeld.
We want George Washington's."
I'm going to push you a little harder because we got to get two of these done before we get out of here. Okay, you ready?
I think so.
Are you
Have
ready?
you ever gone to the movies to see a double feature?
No.
Only at the drive-in.
This is weird. There was a double feature that was being billed back in the day. Now some people do double features. They do their own where they just say, hey, come see these two movies.
Right.
So would that
But
be?
the studios used to bundle movies together, and the studios would sort of sell them as a double feature. They
almost
would
like an
purposely
opening act?
No,
No,
and
they
they would do
usually
it as a
comedies.
special. But here's the weird thing. Here's a double feature that Paramount did. It started with The Odd Couple, and it was followed by Rosemary's Baby.
No,
That's
not
a weird
good.
double.
No.
If you swap those, I think it's okay. I like to
because
watch
you
a
want something
comedy
lighthearted. Yeah, after a horror movie.
Now,
whatever.
when did intermission stop? Because that's what I wish they would bring back. Watching Dune 2 for 3 hours, I'd like to go outside.
There's
and
no
have
intermission
a Coke
in
and go
Dune?
pee. No.
Oppenheimer would have had an intermission too in the 70s or 80s, probably. Anything like in the 3 hour length would
Had
have
an intermission built in.
2000.
I don't know why they wouldn't still do that.
Yeah, they don't want us to buy more food. What is the deal? It's all in and
one
out.
thing fewer showings. So
real
a lot
quick,
of theaters.
While you're talking, so I can add this in. Ever heard of it? A double feature?
No.
Okay.
A lot of they call them exhibitors.
Oh, wait, I've heard of a double feature. I'm sorry.
Doesn't
I've
matter.
never
Already
been
did
on
A
it.
lot of theater owners don't like long movies because they can't turn over the house quick enough to sell more popcorn.
But when it's a blockbuster smash.
They still don't like it. I'm sure you ask any exhibitor, and he would prefer that Oppenheimer was 2 hours as opposed to 3 and change.
Forgot my Dune
Just
bucket.
because nobody's getting up in the middle of the movie to buy Cokes or popcorn. Once you're in your chair, you're locked in. I wanted to leave.
I am. There were a couple times I wanted to go get some more popcorn. I should have got a large.
But you didn't, did you?
No, because
Okay, so you're playing into exactly what I'm saying.
The IMAX at Bob Bullock, it's like you got to go across everybody. There's no center aisle.
But you got to look at it this way: a theater doesn't charge you by the length of the movie, and any other thing, any other retail kind of situation or whatever, the more you get, the more you pay for. So you're paying the same price for a 90-minute movie as you do for a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Old ladies' bras are more expensive because their boobs are longer.
Right.
Yeah,
See what we're saying?
Yeah, no, I get that last analogy.
Yeah. So theater owners are like, what the hell, man?
Last question for you. Have you ever gone to the movies to watch a re-release of a Disney film?
Probably. I can't think of it, but...
Do you know why Disney re-releases movies every 10 years?
Why?
Every title?
Because the cats when your kids have grown up.
Because new kids are being made all the time.
Yeah, because people have a lot of sex.
You know what I'm saying?
It's truth. Truth about it.
I think I watched The Little
It's a-
Mermaid on...
That's a banger.
Hey, don't say banger with Little Mermaid, dude. You'll go to jail.
Love Chloe, yeah.
Coachella, eat before you go.
I report the news. That's what I do.
It's Bob Fonseca's Rock and Roll News.
Oh, yeah, baby. All my pretty things out there. What's happening? I know you've been waiting. You're sitting in your car. You don't want to go into the office. You've got to get your rock and roll news in, and I'm glad to provide it. I am your provider. That's right. I'm your supplier. I'm your dealer of rock and roll news headlines, so you don't act like or look like a doofus when you go into the office today. Because, listen, rock and roll is what it's all about. You know, those other headlines that they do on the other stations, you know, all depressing and stuff. Rock and roll is fun.
It is. It is.
We have fun here with the rock and roll. It brings joy. The healing powers of music are in effect. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm a little lightheaded. I had a little too much Nespresso this morning. And a little shaky. But, Chuy, I know that you keep up with Coachella.
It's pronounced Coachella.
Coachella. And I don't know if there's another weekend to go or not. I'm not sure. That amount of research I did not invest in. But people are complaining about Coachella 2024's food prices. It's nuts. I don't know. What are we going to do? You know, I'm usually like...
Are people dumb? Are you not going to expect it to be expensive?
I know, but it's beyond expensive.
Why
now.
sensational?
Arena pricing and airport pricing is getting so weird that I don't even know. Like, I'm not a guy that wants government intervention, but I think we need government intervention here.
I mean, there's
That
a big
sounds like
story
you
about
are.
kind of stuff like
I
that,
think,
too. That you should have probably,
yeah.
that'll be good.
Well, we can't talk about that because I get the kibosh when we talk about the big...
Talk about what?
Ducket.
The Department of
ducket
Justice
providers.
is going to sue Ticketmaster and Live
All right,
Nation
now
for
you just got me
antitrust
in trouble
violations.
again.
I'm reading a headline. Is
Remember
all.
when they told me to shut up? Felt like I had some clout. They told me to shut up. Anyway, Coachella food prices shock fans as festival goers take to TikTok to reveal how much they're paying. That's on you.
That's on you.
Eat before you go. $64 for 2 burritos and a green juice. First of all, no one needs 2 burritos. 2 tacos, yes. But 1 burrito, it's kind of like the beer, wine, alcohol thing in a way, right?
Yeah.
2 tacos equals 1 burrito. There's enough stuff in a burrito to make 2 or 3 tacos, right?
Yeah.
It's just all wrapped and folded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it depends.
I thought I'd get your support on this.
And, I mean, sometimes it depends on the place. Sometimes they don't fill them well.
All right, $64 for 2 burritos. But I say go 1 burrito and go... What's half of 64? Matt? What's
32.
Thank you. Thanks
You know
for
how I
being
know
there.
that?
Why?
Because the perfect measurements are 64, 32, 64.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, ladies?
Anyway, so go with a single... Okay, so $64 for 2 burritos and a green juice. All right? Now, that's a weird flex. Let me get 2 burritos, but a healthy green juice to go with all that carb and sugar and whatever's in grease.
I say
whatever's in
double
it.
the price, Scott. Who cares what they charge influencers?
$8 for a Coca-Cola? I don't think that... I mean, to me, I feel like baseball stadiums have been doing that for a long time. I'm not going to... I don't think it's right, but I don't think that's shocking. I don't think that's as shocking as $64 for 2 burritos.
Sneak some food in. You can wrap some tortillas around your calf.
There you go.
And
See?
And it stays warm.
bologna in your crotch.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you where to put that tube of chorizo.
And Coachella also charging $28 if you want a double vodka. All right, that's Sphere pricing. That's Moody Center pricing, right?
Yeah, that's not even crazy.
That's not even crazy.
I don't even understand why this article is being... The idea... Like, this is not a surprise. You know what you're getting, right? When you buy that ticket?
Yes.
Yeah, eat it at your mom's house before you go. That's not even a euphemism.
Eat before and take food in.
Cheese pizza, $11. I mean,
If you take enough mushrooms, you will not be hungry. You don't feel like eating.
That is true. Yeah,
And
that's 8 hours of no food.
Yeah, so I don't... It's just silly.
Yeah, it's silly. You know what you're getting into. You're a captive audience. Figure out a way to either sneak food in or eat before you go. Okay?
Or...
All right?
Or... put a little bit of effort into your career, be invited to play Coachella, and then get free food backstage.
Nice.
How about that?
Nice.
Millennials just want everything
All right.
handed to them.
Now, last week, I reported that Madison Square Garden's Billy Joel's 100th residency performance, whatever. I don't even know I didn't say that in the right order, but forgive me. Sometimes rock's last great reporter's not so great. But I said it was going to be on 2 weird networks. It turned out CBS picked it up. But there's a huge controversy because of, because it was Sunday night on CBS. All kinds of weird things happen on Sundays on television. Sporting events usually go long. In this case, it was the Masters on CBS on Sunday, which I watched part of. Boring.
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to just get all excited. Haven't you seen the dudes? Have you seen the dudes in this building, how excited they've been because the Masters was coming?
Hey, Matt.
Every dude on AM,
Matt.
all the dudes in sales are like, dude, it's going to be such a good weekend, bro.
Matt.
Bro.
Matt.
Swear to God, it's going to be so... Dude, when we watch them rip them birdies.
Matt.
Yeah.
Let's go to 18. Let's go to 16. Let's go to 5. Savi Alafabo is picking out a wedge for this shot. Oh, it's gone right. He won't get the green jacket.
Oh.
That's going to hurt.
Can you imagine if we did a radio show like they do the Masters?
They should play the Masters over the radio.
Chuy? Let's go to 7.
Did you see Danny Goodwin's clip this week?
No.
You know, Danny Goodwin is sometimes a comedian here in town, sometimes guest of our show. He's been doing this thing where 2 golf announcers, he does really good impressions of golf announcers.
Oh, nice. Jim Nance or whatever.
Yeah, he does. It's just him in his ordinary life, but golf announcers are announcing his life and what he's doing. It's really good.
Holy cow, though. What a big deal they make about that stupid green jacket. It doesn't even fit right. How many sizes do they have?
Do they not sell them at stores?
How
You can't
many
get a green
sizes
jacket
do
in
they
there?
Where
have
can
in
you
the
wear
closet?
a green jacket these days where people don't think that you're a little Nancy?
St. Patrick's
It's
Day.
not even a good color green. And they make such a big deal about it's golf's greatest weekend.
Give me a sweater.
Give me something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Give me some green Hey Dudes that I can wear
I'm
around.
surprised they still call it the Masters. Honestly.
That's a good point.
right?
Yeah. And it's down south, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Oof.
boy, isn't.
I wish Ed Clements was here. He'd be mad at us right now.
Yeah, he would.
Hey, Chuy, let's go to 13. Okay, anyway, CBS cut the performance from Madison Square Garden live. They cut it short for local news or whatever. They cut Joel's final song, the classic. Can you believe they cut Piano Man? They
What?
just went,
Out of all of
CBS
them?
just went, concert over. We're out of time. We got to go to the local news.
I've been waiting for Piano Man.
So CBS is going to re-air Billy Joel's TV special in its entirety after cutting the show short. All right?
All right.
Network, and that is going to happen, let's see, are they saying April 19th at 8 p.m. Central on CBS.
I hope the lottery numbers interrupt again.
CBS. Hey, Chuy. CBS. Let's go to 14.
Oh, he's taking out his wedge. It's a very tough shot. It's very interesting to use that on the fringe. Definitely a knockdown.
Ooh, that's a gimme.
Oh, my goodness.
No, they don't give gimmies in the PGA, do they? Is that even PGA? I don't even know.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't even know. Anyway, that's cool. Good for you, CBS, making good, but you should have never. Can you imagine cutting off Billy Joel on Piano Man to go to the Sunday local news? That's not. Those aren't even the good people. Those are the people on TV willing to work on Sunday night. You're not seeing Walt Maxky work on Sunday night.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It's his bathing night.
This is the training ground. Sunday night is the training ground for local news. Apologies if you're a local news person and you work Sunday nights.
Congratulations, actually, on landing a training job. I'm actually proud of you. I don't know why he would diminish you. There are no small announcers unless they're 5'8" or below.
Disney is teasing another Beatles project, and I love this. Keep them coming, Uncle Walt. Keep them coming. It's speculation now. Disney has been teasing the Beatles project on their channel and social media. They've posted a graphic of 4 white boxes in the same shape as the original Let It Be album with the caption, "There will be an answer." That's a nod to the lyrics of Let It Be. There is much speculation that Paul McCartney's, and this is my interpretation as Rock's last great reporter and as a #1 Beatles fan, I believe that Disney is going to make one of Paul McCartney's dreams come true and recut the movie Let It Be. Not the big, long Peter Jackson version, but the theatrical that came out in the early 70s. I think they're going to recut that to Paul's specification. It was not a flattering portrait.
You're saying he wants to recut it where Paul looks good.
Good question, Matt.
You're saying he would like to change the actual history of what happened.
The thing is, it really was a true documentary in that you got to see the Beatles break up. And
correct.
fight.
And that's recutting that would be a tragedy.
But then to have the Beatles on screen at the end, that was Yellow Submarine. When did they sing all together now? Oh, that was at the end of Yellow Submarine, which they had no part of whatsoever. Their voices weren't even used in that. But that was a pretty swinging movie, though. I've got an hole in me pocket. Do it, Chuy.
Hello?
I've got an hole in me pocket.
What's the next line?
He wants you to say, "I've got a hole in my pocket."
I've got a hole in my pocket.
I've got an hole in me pocket.
Get the hole in my pocket.
Anyway, I'm going to look forward to that. Anything with the Beatles, any kind of footage, found footage of the Beatles in action recording is a treasure. And I know it's weird. I just finished Mal Evans' book, their bodyguard and their procurer, as it were. And you know,
Point of inquiry?
it kind of hurt me a little
Point of
bit.
inquiry.
But we know
What does it get you when you read all these books about a band?
knowledge.
But where are you going to use
I'm
that?
one of the world's
Are you
foremost
one day going to get
foremost-
hired as a Beatles?
I wouldn't mind
publicist?
that.
I mean, what is it?
I wouldn't hate that. But they were kind of predatory in a way.
Kinda.
Well, in the day, I think everybody was.
Oh, well, then
It
it's
was a
okay.
different time. We're more awake now, you know? But anyway, Mal Evans' book is really good if you want some insight on the Beatles and what it was like to work for him. Pretty cool. Pretty good. I would have worked for him. All right, let's see. What's Damon Albarn of Blur. Never got into Blur. My good friend Martin gave me a Blur album for my birthday once. Never opened it.
What?
Well, I streamed it. Well, I felt like maybe it was a collector's item because Martin gave it to me, but he blasted the Coachella crowd. He said, "Stop complaining about the prices." No, he said, "You'll never see us again." I guess he didn't like the way the crowd behaved. You know?
But why threaten them when they already don't like you?
Well,
Threaten them to not see
Here's the
you.
deal. You probably were
Weird
planning
thing to
on
do,
not
right?
coming back anyway.
You should threaten them and say, "I'll play even longer."
It's like when you break up with somebody and that person you just broke up with you goes, "You'll regret this. This is the stupidest thing you've ever..." And you're like, I'm not going to regret it at all, but you're making me
was my
really
decision.
happy right now.
What was Blur's big? They had a hit, right?
They had a couple. One of them they had was, "Woohoo!"
Oh, that one. Blur was given one of the prime Saturday night spots. So what are they complaining about? Well, what they're complaining about, 7:40 was their time slot. They were slotted between Sublime and No Doubt. And the crowd seemed disinterested in the Brit pop act. So there you go. I guess he's accusing Coachella of nationalism? Like, don't put us with a couple of American acts?
No, I think he's accusing himself of having a weird ego.
Anyway, he said, to quote him, "We shan't play this festival again."
And the festival was like, "Yeah, we were getting ready to come tell you that in a second."
Yeah. Oh,
Once we
man.
saw the fact that the crowd had really settled down. I'm glad we could come to this agreement so easily.
That's a good one, Matt. That's a good one. All right. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fan vote ends. Now, I don't know how the fan vote plays into the vote. I'm assuming not at all. But they like to do this. This is kind of like American government. And like they like to think that when we vote, we have power. Right? So they give the fans a vote. And the voting has ended, and the inductees of the fan vote are going to be announced live on TV. Maybe they do get to induct them. I don't know. This year's inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, okay. So I guess you do have more. You got more power voting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame than you do in the national election. Wow. Matt's not agreeing with me on that.
Well, no, I mean, if I don't get my way this year, I'm going to storm the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with a bunch of my buddies.
What's
We're going
the
to beat up some
difference?
cops.
I'll join you.
When they're all the same age.
I'll join you.
And then after people say, "Hey, you're not supposed to beat up cops," we'll go, it's just First Amendment. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna sit at Clive Davis's desk and put my feet up. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he has anything to do with the Rock Fame Hall thing. Anyway, inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Welcome to the Rock Fame Hall thing.
they'll be named live on American Idol on April 21. Lionel Richie and host Ryan Seacrest. Well, I like saying Seacrest.
Does he get tired of hosting things?
Well,
No, I
I
don't
know
think
he
so.
doesn't get tired of
Money.
dropping checks
Just
off at the
insane
bank.
checks, dude.
That's what he doesn't.
Nut job checks. Remember how he started out? He was just like a radio
Yeah,
presenter.
no better than us.
No better than us.
It could have been one of us. It could have been if we had been in the right market at the right time.
In
It could have
fact-
been one of us.
He's not more creative than us, but you know what he is good at? He doesn't stop and stutter as much as I do, and he doesn't go, as much as I do.
Anyway, Ryan Seacrest will announce the winners during Sunday's episode, which airs at 8:10. Let's call it
I wonder if it'll
7:10
be like
Central on ABC. On ABC.
I wonder if it would be like the Alliance for Women in Media Awards, and when he goes to present it, he'll actually win the award.
Possible winners include Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Cher. No rock and roll so far. Dave Matthew Band, still no rock. Eric B. and Rakim, still no rock. Finally, Foreigner. They're definite with all the politicizing and campaigning that's going on.
It's going to be so awesome when they don't get it. It's
Peter
gonna be crusher to all
Frampton,
those people.
Jane's Addiction, Kool and the Gang. Lenny. Oh, this is why Lenny Kravitz has been doing all these videos. I forgot he was nominated.
He's a shoo-in.
No, he's not. He's
a leather
mesh,
pants in.
Yeah, he's a leather pants in. I was going to say mesh tank top
What's
in.
he going to wear to that red carpet?
Oasis, Sinead
Red
O'Connor,
carpet.
Ozzy Osbourne, Sade, and Sade?
Yes, Sade.
And A Tribe Called Quest. I feel like I'm reading last year's. Is that last year's news?
Well, it came out last year.
No. Anyway, there
Can
you
I
go.
kick it?
It's time for Rock and Roll News Junior. Good news for the kids. It's a 2 for Tuesday on Rock and Roll News Junior headlines for the kids on the way to the dropout zone right now. I encourage you to stay in school. Oof. I just saw a picture of Paul Simon on my screen.
Sorry that happened to you.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I got distracted there.
Paul is not.
The screen's off.
When they say,
don't
would you
wear
like
a little hat,
When
Paul.
they say, would you like fries with that? Paul's been like, oh, yeah, I would.
Don't wear a little hat.
Yeah. The thing is the little hat looks much littler. He's been, you know what I mean? He's just like the rest of us. See, we're not making fun of him. We're just saying,
No.
hey,
We're just giving you some.
when you put on a couple, that little hat is not growing with you.
No. Rock and Roll News Junior for the kids on the way to the dropout zone. Stay in school, do your homework, and start a band. Kids, I encourage you and send me the link to your band camp so I can hear what you're doing.
That's
all
right.
And I'll give you. I might even manage you if I think you've got something. I might offer you a contract.
Dang.
Well, get your parents involved. But anyway, Billboard has announced the coolest artist of the week and the coolest pop song of the week. I don't know this Sabrina Carpenter person, but if you know, she's from the Disney Channel, I guess. So
Everybody
I
knows
thought
Sabrina
So I thought
Carpenter.
the kids might
Kids
be interested.
love- you know what? Can I give you a kudos?
Yeah.
This is the first Rock and Roll News Junior you've ever done that actually applied to any kids. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
I will accept your praise, and I will cherish it forever.
Yeah, good.
Thank you. Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso is named by Billboard as the coolest pop song of the week, and I'll have to check
The
that
last time you covered a
out later.
Disney star on the show was Annette Funicello.
Not true. Not true. I did the Joannis Brothers.
You were like, hey, the kids love Annette, don't they?
Remember
Frankie?
Beach Blanket
Bingo?
Bingo? With that dreamy Frankie Avalon? All right. And the second story in this Rock and Roll News Junior 2 for Tuesday, it's been announced that Dua Lipa, the kids love the Dua Lipa.
Boy,
don't
do they. Boy, do they.
I think their dads like her, too. It's always good when kids and parents can come together on anything, right?
Oh, at the same time.
That's disgusting.
She's going to host SNL and also be the musical guest. Do you get paid double when you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Not many celebrities have done that.
She'll end up getting Dua paychecks.
Shut your lipas. That didn't make any sense at all.
I don't know why you would do it.
Huh?
Do it.
All right, that's Rock and Roll News Junior. It's time for the Rock and Roll News Salute.
Do you know what you're not allowed to do on her tour bus? Only she's allowed to do a in the bathroom.
That's a good one, Matt. You are on fire today, my friend.
I think you took a leap.
This salute goes out to one of our super fans.
You said super.
Yes, I did. It was intentional. That's what I'm calling them now, super fans. You a super fan?
Don't try to cover for it.
Superfly.
No.
You were fine with Superfly.
Why don't you just accept the fact that you
Superfly.
messed up and just roll with it? It's funny. It's okay. You trying to fix
Try
it.
to get over. Superfly. This goes out to our super fan, Matt.
His new name is Super Bob.
Flying DJ for sending me the Coachella story at bobsrocknews@gmail.com. You can reach out to me there. You can ask for my Venmo. You can leave me a thanks. You can request a shout out. You can send me a story. You can send me nudes. That's what rock and roll is all about. You make the rules. Rock and roll news. Oh, man, that was a good one for a Tuesday. I got to be honest with you. Hey, send that one over to American Women in Media. Maybe I'll win an award for it next year. Hey, that still hurts we didn't win, but you know what? We have the healing powers of rock and roll. To get us through the week, get us through our lives, rock and roll saved my life in 1971. It is written. It is the way. And remember one thing, I may be in the skybox looking down on you, but I'm really not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right here with you every Monday through Friday. At this time, what do you want me to do, Chuy? Hey, it's Mornings with Matt and Bob, powered by Chuy. Do us a favor, go to austintheater.org and check out the lineup for Moon Tower Comedy and click on the tickets for our upcoming... We call it a podcast. It's more of like a show, a variety show. We interview people. We talk to the crowd. We have fun. Maybe there'll be some giveaway. We don't know. You don't know. That's the surprise. Anyway, we're doing a show 420 this Saturday at 4:20 p.m. I don't think we've been pushing it hard enough, so I'm pushing right now. Come and join us. You got no excuse. It's a Saturday afternoon. There's nothing on television.
We'd like to have a sellout there, I think.
We would like to have a sellout and to impress the Moon Tower people. And I think we'll have some surprises for you. Tickets are just $20. And you can get single tickets. If you've got a pass already to Moon Tower, I think you just walk right in.
Correct.
You flash your badge like a big shot and walk right in. But you can buy single tickets for $20, no problem. All right? And we'd like to see you there. And we'll stick around a little bit afterwards. Press the flesh, as they say. Hang out with you.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Growing dietary trend, right? Embraced by you dudes?
Not intermittent, but fasting for sure.
What is the difference between...
Intermittent is like skipping a meal.
It's like having an 8-hour eating window.
I'd say a big fast would be, 24 hours or over.
Which I did yesterday. I did like a 36er.
The 8-hour eating window is linked to a nearly doubling the risk of death from heart disease.
Okay, these things change all the time.
They do. Yeah, we do research.
One person says one thing and another person says another. It's almost like Congress.
Scientists say restricting your eating in an 8-hour time frame significantly increases the risk of dying from cardiovascular disease.
So here's the thing: there's always variables left out. What are they eating when they eat?
Good.
Is it
question,
is it chicken
Matt?
And veggies, or is it a Big Mac?
Restricting daily eating to a short period, such as 8 hours per day, has gained popularity in order to lose weight and improve heart health. However, a guy named Dr. Victor, I'm not even going to try this name. He lives in China, and I respect him. However, the long-term health effects of time-restricted eating, including risk of death from any cause of cardiovascular disease, unknown. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because the people who are doing this are larger. I don't know.
All I can tell you is from my experience, blood pressure goes back if it's high. Your sodium levels, cholesterol levels start to regulate a little quicker.
Oh, they did a study spanning 2003 to 2018. That's a pretty good window of testing this stuff.
That is a solid
And they
window.
say that the study unveiled a startling 91% higher risk of cardiovascular mortality among individuals doing an 8-hour window compared to those who did 12 or 16-hour windows. Like spreading out their meals more.
I wish
So
they would get the
a
information
bigger fast
straight.
is better? Is that what it's saying?
No. They're saying spreading instead of eating only across an 8-hour period, eating over a 12-hour period and over a 16-hour period, you tended to be healthier.
Okay.
You understand what that means, right?
Yeah, every 3 hours, though, within a 12-hour period, or just any point I'm eating during that 12-hour period? I'm constantly eating?
Why are you sound accusatory, like you sound like you're mad at me. All I'm doing is bringing you some information.
And I'm just talking to the information.
Well, the information would like you to know that it is what it is.
But
And it's not telling you anything specific. It's saying
I think
if
they
you
botched this
restrict
study.
it's saying if you restrict your eating to an 8-hour window, you can raise your chances of cardiovascular death.
Scientists are supposed to be smart. I don't care. Did they not
I wish they
cover
would all get
everything
on
in
the
a
same.
study?
Yeah.
Well, like, dude, you want me to
get on
read the whole
same
goddamn
page.
study right now?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tesla
All of it.
Dan.
I want to read the whole
Dan.
paper.
Forgive us, Dan.
It's just that they say one thing one day. Oh, carbs are bad. Oh, carbs are good.
No.
I can get some
sugar's
books and
bad.
some other
You got
research
some
that says
There is
opposite.
not a thing.
right.
They don't change from day to day. What happens is we read stuff from non-studies, just people going, bro, have you heard about this, Jamie? Pull this up. Don't eat. You came here this morning saying that you did a fast, right? Mm-hmm. And what did you say this morning? You felt what?
A little shaky.
Okay.
Because I had like a 6-pound swing in one day. Which is probably not good for your body. That's like, what percentage of my
Angus
body weight?
Barberry's fast.
Can I just say that my 6-pound swing is good for a lady's body?
382
You
day
wish.
fast is the longest fast. Angus lost 276 pounds.
And
Set a record.
who is this study funded by? That's what you have to. You got to follow the money sometimes.
Big food?
Yeah,
McDonald's?
big food. McDonald's.
Big clocks? I mean, what do you mean? Who's it study? They're not saying don't eat. They're
Who
just
funded
saying.
it?
They're
Somebody's got to
saying.
fund the study.
They're saying eating in a 12-hour window tends to be better for our bodies than eating in an 8-hour
Says
window.
Kellogg's. Says Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, I'm glad I brought this in. I didn't know it was going
The
to
oldest man in the
trigger
world,
you guys.
at the time, I guess, said he would fast.
Didn't
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and can I ask you a question? What has more evidence? A study that's conducted over a 15-year period or one guy?
I don't know.
Probably
If the guy's still
the study,
alive,
yeah.
I'm going to go with the one guy.
There can always be
Okay.
an exception, I suppose.
I don't know, man. I get confused by this. Remember when we were kids, you were brushing your teeth one way, and then one day you woke up and they go, "Oh man, you're doing it all wrong." They changed. The American Dental Association changed their mind. Instead of going side to side, you got to go up and down.
Yeah. It's called learning new things.
the hell?
Are you afraid
No.
of learning new things? Do you know there was a long time when they said
Your
that
face is gonna
there's a
learn my
long time
fist
when they
in a
said that
minute.
the Earth, that the sun revolved around
Not
the
a
Earth,
violent
and then
man,
one day
but-
they were like, "Oh, it turns out that the Earth revolves around the sun."
It must be hard being so smart, huh?
I'll get ahead of the next thing that says fasting is good and just keep fasting.
Give the guy a University of Texas
next study
degree.
that
He
will
thinks he
say.
knows everything.
I'm not saying I know anything. I'm reading from a study. You guys got butthurt and then got mad at me that I read the study.
Once they do a study on
Poor Kara.
36-hour fasts, I'll listen because that's what I
Poor
do.
Kara. You're not using vegetable oil, are you?
Look at the two of you.
I'm not mad. That
ridiculous.
study's
I'm
not
not
about
mad.
me. That
I'm not
study's not
mad.
about me.
Oh, Bob's upset.
No, I'm not upset.
He intermittent fasts. I do.
Yeah, he does.
I do
He does
32
like
I,
every day.
I vary.
I do 32 hours a week.
But when I come back from a hard weekend where I've abused my body and I'm
Every week you take off
overweight-
32 hours?
From eating, yeah.
Yeah. Give your stomach a break. Isn't there any health benefits in that?
When are those? Oh, you add up the hours you're sleeping?
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah, what about, am I not supposed to sleep? What about those 8 hours I'm sleeping? Should I get up and eat so I don't get heart disease?
I don't hate that idea.
That's
nice-
not at all what they
a
They
nice
didn't say that
snack
you
at-
should be eating 24 hours a day. That wasn't even in there. They said 12 hours a day. You guys are upset about a 4-hour window here.
Scientists.
And are these Earth hours?
No, Bob. They're a Mars hour. There, you feel better? Feel better about yourself now? You see what I got to deal with, people? Every day.
I'm hungry,
I just
though.
want to know who that paper was funded by. That's all.
That's it. Fruit Loops? What was it? Oreos? Nabisco?
Hostess?
Kellogg's?
Post?
I'm getting ready to tell you guys how you can save on your property taxes. I bet you'll argue with me. You shouldn't, though. Own well.
And now for some thick headlines.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologize for reading a study from some dumb site called studyup.com. Didn't mean to upset everybody. I just was bringing it up because I know that we talk a lot about fasting, and I thought it was interesting. I apologize. My bad.
Well, now you don't have to take it all personal.
I'm sorry if I've awoken protest in you, especially since you are no longer legally allowed to protest in the state of Texas. That's right. As of yesterday, the Supreme Court announced on Monday that it will not hear McKesson versus Doe, and the decision not to hear McKesson leaves in place a lower court decision that effectively eliminates the right to organize a protest in the states of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
Yay.
Yay!
You doth protest too much.
Hey, guys, it's just, First Amendment.
That's what America's about.
America's not about protesting or throwing tea into the water.
Especially when it's about things I don't like.
Under a lower court decision, you can sue a protest organizer if a single attendee at a protest commits an illegal act. So say you have a protest.
Okay.
Say some of the people from that protest go and spray paint Black Lives Matter on a wall.
Or storm a
Not
Capitol.
you or anybody. Well, I was getting ready to get there because right now I know some people are like, well, everybody should be responsible. If you, and this is going to be interesting because the Supreme Court is also getting ready to have to hear what happens if you organize an event. Some of the people from that event then go and beat up police officers. And I think they're going to say, well, you're not responsible for that. And they're going to tie themselves in knots on this one.
Oh, man, I hope the election goes okay and neither side is a sore loser.
Well, they decided not to hear it. I think that when this all goes back to the lower courts and then gets tried, I think it'll probably fall apart because the decision doesn't make sense that I would be responsible for a stranger's behavior. It's the same thing as saying that if I have a carnival and you come to my carnival and then you punch somebody at the carnival, I'm responsible because I organized the carnival.
Well, you might not have hired enough security.
That's different. I could be liable if you say I hired no security and I knew that there was a risk.
Damn guy at the dunk tank making fun of me. Couldn't knock him in.
Looking at my wife weird.
I'm going to punch somebody.
He guessed my weight of being 6 pounds over. You think I ain't going to show him something?
I ain't no fat ass.
Yeah. He called me a plushie. What the hell's that all about? So I pulled out one of those BB guns you used to pop out the center of the target.
Want me a teddy bear.
Shot him in the ass on a downstroke.
That's right.
Shot him in the ass on a downstroke. School spring breaks will not align with South by Southwest again next year. This last happened in 2019, and now 5 years later, we'll get it again. UT, ACC, AISD, other surrounding school districts will be on spring break 1 week. South by Southwest will happen on another week.
Is that good or bad? I'm trying to think of how that works out for families.
5 years ago, I think it was bad. South by Southwest seemed much quainter this year, and if it continues on the quaint tip, I don't think it makes as big of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were some road closures, but I didn't think that it was the kind of all-out mayhem it's been in some years past. I will say it makes for interesting work around here. But there you go. Just giving you a heads up for next year, just in case it affects you. Like 1 year, my kids went to school on 6th Street, that 2019 year. And that was interesting because the city closed down the street in front of their school. So school pickup was interesting. My kids had to walk through a bunch of South by Southwest. When they showed up on the other side, they were all filled with free White Claw samples.
Oh, my God.
And Mom was like, give me a tipple of that. Hey, kids, go back and get another. Mama wants another. Hey, get some good news from Austin. While home prices are coming down, population is coming down a little bit, something is going up, and this should excite you. Syphilis rates on the rise in Austin.
Is it up again? Buy that syphilis stock.
Rates of syphilis are up 80%. It turns out that people who choose to intermittently fast have an 80% higher chance of...
Fake news. Come on.
Is there a syphilis medicine stock that we can invest in and capitalize off?
Guess
this
what?
trend?
Here's what's interesting. Syphilis is not only up, but the medicine to treat syphilis is currently... You know that there's this whole thing where there's like 230 semi medicines that are being rationed because we don't have them currently. They're not being manufactured, or the manufacturer facilities have been injured by tornadoes, or there's just too high of a demand and nobody really thought to make it.
What is wrong with this third world country?
Here we go. Syphilis medication is so rare that it's being saved right now. Only pregnant mothers can get it. So if you get syphilis,
hang on.
Get pregnant.
Your
too.
only option is to take an oral medicine that you have to take for 30 straight days. If you miss one of the days, it does you no good. Guess what?
What?
If you forgot to put on a condom, there's a good chance that in 30 days you'll forget one day to take the medicine.
Yeah, we forgot.
So true. So true.
Texas has seen its rates increase significantly, and a lot of people don't even notice that they've had syphilis until it's too late, and then they have memory loss. They've got gout in their foot. Oh wait,
stroke symptoms. Yeah.
Stroke symptoms. Should go to a doctor.
I'm sorry, dude. I shouldn't joke about that.
Also, congenital rates are way up. That means people being born with syphilis. I think if you're a baby that was getting laid in the womb, I think you're cool as hell, man. Way to go, baby.
Welcome to Earth. Syphilis boy.
So,
that's terrible, man. That's terrible.
It is terrible. You know what one of the other terrible parts is?
Yeah.
Do you know where the big rises have been? Not just in, there's some, drug-using communities, of course, that it's up.
Oh, I know. The promotions department?
You got him good. Take that, Evan. And Johnny. That's the sad part. There's just two dudes there right now, and you're accusing them of giving each other syphilis.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny Root.
Oh, Johnny Root. Yeah.
Well, that's going to make him feel good this morning, driving in, listening to you going, Johnny.
Well, sometimes I call
Who
him
the hell?
The guy,
his real
that
name.
gives you
I
the
know.
free concert tickets once in a while?
Because I'm friends
that Johnny.
I'm friends with him in real life.
Oh, there
what
you
do you
go.
call him in
Let
real life?
everybody know that Johnny Rude isn't his real name.
Wow.
His real name is Johnny Rude Dog.
Way to dox.
It's actually Johnny Nice in real life.
Johnny Sweetheart.
Johnny Sprinkles.
Jimmy the Smile, they used to call him. Anyway. No, syphilis rates are way up in old folks' homes.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, wrinkle bangers have been going in there, and they ain't wearing nothing. Because they're like, oh, she's been through menopause. I can slam it.
Look out,
Ram
Madonna's
it.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Ghost kitchens are disappearing.
What? I was about to start one.
Where?
Ghost kitchens manifested during the
Saturday
pandemic. Let's see. Kitchen United, a large operator of ghost kitchens, they got almost $200 million in funding by Kroger and other. They announced they're shutting down at the end of the year. Wendy's was going to open 700 ghost kitchens. They said, nope, not going to do it. Applebee's has closed its virtual dining option completely. Mr. Beast.
Good.
Nope, he's out.
Good. It shouldn't be for all the rich corporations that are doing the same. I watched this interview
Uber
with
Eats said they will no longer deliver from 8,000 ghost kitchens. They're taking 8,000 ghost kitchens from their lineup and removing them altogether.
Why?
I'm a DoorDash guy anyway.
Are they having an issue? Seems like it'd be easy money.
F Uber Eats.
Well, Uber Eats is gonna. It's the same business.
DoorDash is Uber Eats?
No, I'm saying, well, it's the same space, which means DoorDash is going to eventually do it too. If they're losing money and it's not working, they're all going to follow suit.
I think we've still got a couple here. Go check out the Bougie Foodie. Lefty's Pizza is incredible.
Not all ghost kitchens have been exorcised. In fact, some delivery-only brands are doing very well, including Pasquale's Pizza and Wings, which continues to thrive.
That's Chuck E. Cheese.
That's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
That's Chuck E. Cheese, and it turns out people are willing to eat Chuck E. Cheese's pizza if you change the name to Pasquale's Pizza. Who knew? All you had to do was remove the stigma of it being
a rat
Chuck
being
E.
around
Cheese.
my pizza?
Yeah, something like that. is all you needed.
Hey.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's today's Austin area headline.
We love it.
How often do you order from Ghost Kitchens that this is even upsetting to you?
I don't order often. I'll go try on occasions, like once or twice a week. I'll be like, hey, I want a pizza. Let me try some place that's new.
Did you just say once or twice a week?
Yeah, but if it's not that, then I'm going to be like,
I'm just saying, well, recently you argued in here that you only do takeout twice a month.
Right, so
that once or twice a week would then add up to 4 times a month?
Yeah, but you're expecting what
8
I'm
times a
eating
month?
to be about $40 a piece because you have a family. You haven't eaten as a single man.
I don't know why you're being argumentative. I'm just
because
asking
you're
you questions.
accusatory is what.
I'm not accusing
your
anything.
tone was accusatory. So mine got defensive.
So that's how you deal with your life? If you think you're being accused of something, you just get defensive?
Yeah, that's how the court of law works.
Gotta up it.
But what are you supposed to say after that? Forget what you're supposed to say. Your Honor, order.
I'll take a pizza. I'll take a pepperoni pizza.
Is that your order?
Yes.
Dude, there are so many pizzas that have opened up in town, and I haven't hit any of them. I haven't been doing pizza for like a year or so. We should do a pizza run. There's all this stuff. Dude, it looks so good, bro.
Oh, man. And
so
speaking
good.
of, called up Belton Pizza Hut.
Yeah? What?
Sorry, it wasn't profitable. Y'all killed her. Y'all killed the Pizza Hut buffet. That was in Belton.
Damn.
Someone bring it back, please. I'll open it. Can I do that? Can I open? Will y'all?
Here's what I don't understand about them not being profitable. They're so good and they're so popular.
Charge more.
I say...
I'd pay $20 for a Pizza Hut buffet. I said it.
Stop trying to be profitable all the time.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
$17 for the buffet and then a drink. $20 total. I'm having a good time.
Can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
In that last... Oh, that's here.
Yeah.
God, my brain.
Oh, boy.
I know.
What do we do?
We owe. I know. We'll figure it out. We'll give them extra time.
We'll do.
I didn't see this was a double header.
Yeah, we'll get there. Breaks to go. Let's get into breaks to go.
I love those people.
I was just
Why don't you
telling
tell
you-
them about them? Because I've used them 7.
Hey, everybody. It's Mornings with Matt and Bob. We're powered by Chuy. Moon Tower underway. By the way, thank you again yesterday to Daniel Van.
Well, we
for
had
hanging
lunch
with
with
us.
him. We went out and had a little bite and what a nice guy. That's a solid dude right there. And I don't care what anybody says. He's 6'2" in my book.
All right, that's very nice. I watched the beginning of his special yesterday. I didn't have time to sit down to watch it all, but I wanted
Someone send me that link, too.
Okay, I wanted to see just you know what I mean? I wanted to get a taste. Opening bit, fantastic. It shows, if the rest of the special is going to match that, I'm so excited about it. I don't know why I just said if. That sounded really like I was hedging my bets, huh?
He's good, man. TVK.
We're getting ready to talk to you about a very, very interesting movie that I can't wait to see, that Chuy has seen already, and that I think Bob just found out about.
No, I've been watching the previews for a while. You know, it premiered at South by Southwest, so I
can't wait to see it. I'm interested in the takes, and we're going to talk about that. I do want to remind you, speaking of Moon Tower, that we will be live, doing our own live show in person. We'd love to have you there. It's Saturday afternoon at 4:20. That happens to also be the date, 4:20. Now, as you know, one of us is a huge smoker. The rest of us aren't. It's our still great live show. Don't think, well, I'm not a big pothead, so this isn't for me. If you went to last year's 420 show, you know how we handle a 420 show. There's some tongue-in-cheek. There's a little bit of talk, but it's not just,
It will
stoner
be
talk.
high
Yeah.
AF.
There's an extra $20 VIP tent that you can come inside and hang with Chuy after the show.
Nice.
So
Nice.
email me, ask me about that. We'll
Slip
set you
them a
all
20.
up.
I will say this. A buddy of mine's bar is also turning 4 years old, and maybe afterwards we can all walk over to that bar.
Is it walking distance?
It's walking distance for me, but I have legs.
Dirty Sixth?
No, it's past 36. It's East 6. Low Down Lounge. It's having their fourth, and I think there's going to be some pop-up, some food, and I think there's going to be a dunk tank.
Now I'm there.
And then part of me wants to try to get Bob in the dunk tank.
I'll throw the ball.
I like when they trash talk. I want to I'd go in there, but only if they let me trash talk everybody.
Do we have any giveaways for Moon Tower today? Are there any special shows we should be giving away?
For Moon Tower today? I don't think so.
I just want to make sure we have them cleared out and that we don't screw those guys over or miss anything. Because Moon Tower, we really do love Moon Tower. Remember, you can buy single tickets to any of the shows.
Yeah.
In fact, Drew Lynch is at Cap City tonight. Or is it tomorrow night Drew Lynch is there? One night only. Is it Drew Lynch, right?
Yeah. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
We have Aerosmith tickets.
Okay.
And Ronnie Chang.
Oh, so Ronnie Chang is part of it, and we need to give those away then. Mm-hmm. So we have Ronnie Chang tickets that'll be going out later this morning. And then Aerosmith, they did re-announce that concert, and the tickets are completely sold out. So the only place that you can get Aerosmith tickets in the city, unless you want to pay $700 on SeatGeek or whatever, is from us. So I would listen up. Chuy, tell us about the movie that you went to go see that I can't wait to see.
I was so excited to see this.
But now, you don't go to the movies much. So what?
And I thought IMAX is perfect, which I was right. The sound, the view, everything. Because there's
not
a lot
real
of
IMAX, you know that, right?
It is the only real IMAX in Texas.
No, the one in San Antonio is.
Yeah. I think actually the one in Dallas is the only one.
This one's branded. No, I think I've read
recently
during
did you look this up?
Oppenheimer. I read that San Antonio was the closest you could go to get the full IMAX experience. You went to an IMAX branded theater and it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but technically it's not one of their flagship actual IMAX.
Let's see.
I mean, I don't want to.
This is on Reddit. The Bob Bullock Museum has the only true IMAX movie theater in Austin.
That's not what they said during Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Only 30 theaters capable of projecting IMAX in the whole world, and 2 of them are in Texas.
Then I stand corrected, but I heard that San Antonio was the closest.
Well, he's reading it off of Reddit. I mean, come on. It's not like that's an authority.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like StudyUp.com, which tells us that we're going to die if we fast.
Anyway, we're glad you went to the cinema, and you don't go there much. So, what was the attraction here?
What movie
that made you go to the movie
You were
theater?
so excited that you had.
You didn't even see Barbie.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all aren't excited to see a movie like this.
I'm totally
Number
excited.
one.
My wife told me, "Oh no, it's coming out on Prime the same day." So I was like, "Oh sweet."
Yeah.
We sat down last night. By the way, if you didn't hear, he said Civil War. We sat down last night, and I was like, "Oh, I thought it was in theaters only." And she's like, "No.
I have Primes, and I was just on there last night watching
It's
the
Movie
Daily Show.
Monday. Movie Monday at our house.
Yep.
I'm so excited to line up, and we start going through it, and she keeps going, Civil War, into the remote control, and it says, try this, and it's like Ken Burns' The Civil War.
Oh,
and
or
she's
Marvel's Captain America,
right,
Civil
and she
War.
Goes, Civil War. Did you mean Captain America's The Civil War?
It's a good one.
Did you mean Uncivil War? A romantic comedy from 1985? And finally, I just looked it up on my phone. I was like, honey, it's not. It's in theaters only.
This is A24, so it's a love story, right?
Mm-hmm. A24 doesn't only do love stories. They do
don't?
horror.
Name an A24 love story.
The one I just saw.
What's it called?
Up your butt and around the corner.
What's the one with the...
I only seen horror
the one that
movies.
took-
I've only seen suspense.
the one about the love
thrillers.
affair, the woman from... Oh, what was it called? My wife would kill me that I don't remember it. We enjoyed it. It's got the girl from the morning show.
Lady Bird?
No. More recent.
American Honey?
No.
Equals?
No.
You can't just start naming
It
stuff.
was a couple months ago.
Don't.
All right.
Bob's probably thinking of a B-23 movie
No,
or something.
I'm not. It had to do
Even
with...
when I type in A24 romance
I want to say it had to do with the Korean...
Ex Machina pops up. Well,
Well, this guy falls in love.
The Lobster.
So tell us about Civil War. I've been really wanting to see this. I've been interested since they started talking about it. It looks good. I hear it gets you to do some thinking. I was glad there was an A24 and not some big Paramount blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah.
How was it?
I honestly, I need to watch it again. I loved it, but I don't know. There's a
but.
Bob's going to love the film, like all of the cinematic features of it. The
filmation?
I guess so. The lighting,
The filmitude?
the filmstagram.
Yeah. The litology?
You're gonna love that. But
But,
there's
so
no, like,
maybe it didn't really work for you.
I read all the critics and stuff. I loved it, but some of them are like, it seemed a little empty because they don't do any political stuff. There's no I mean, and all of you, political fans that are religiously fanatic for all of these politicians, there's none of that, so you won't get mad at anything. All you know is there's a president that's taking a third term. California and Texas are the Western forces that are going to try to stop this.
Arizona's not involved? How'd they miss out?
I don't know. I think they joined.
I think that isn't Arizona part of Texas and California, the leaders of the 12 Western nations or something, or that's different?
I'd imagine.
Well, let's not get bogged down in details. We know that there's a civil war happening, but they don't get into policy or whatever.
So they're taking the kind of the journalist perspective. Kirsten Dunst is a journalist.
Yeah, and by the way, I think it's her best work since Elizabethtown. I really do.
Really?
I really do. I mean, I think she knocked it out of the park on this one. I think she's a good actress. I think she has been overlooked for a period of time. Yeah.
Since the first Spider-Mans, I haven't really.
And who did she fall in love with in this?
Nobody.
Huh?
Freedom. She fell in love with freedom, Bob.
There's no love story.
Why wouldn't they there's a love story in Oppenheimer. They put a love story in everything. How are you going to get the ladies to go?
Well, generally...
The love story is America. Us. In America.
That's too
That's
deep.
the love story.
I'm out. Deep.
All right.
Too deep for me. I'm out.
What kind of product placement? We got Reese's Pieces in there? What we got? What are we doing?
No, there's
for product
nothing. And that's
placement?
the thing. I don't know how Dunkirk was. Dunkirk didn't have any of the symbols and stuff on planes and everything like that.
Right. It didn't?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan made sure not to do that.
No, you're thinking of Top Gun didn't. Top Gun, the enemy, we never knew what enemy Tom Cruise was fighting in Top Gun Maverick. It was just some generic...
More than one movie can do that.
It was a generic, because they didn't want to,
I think what she's saying is that Christopher Nolan didn't want to make a movie about us versus them. He wanted to make a movie where you concentrated on sort of
but you know why they also do it?
Impracticabilities of war.
Foreign box office. God, I got to tell you guys everything. They want to make sure they can play movies in countries where
they did not put swastikas on the German planes.
Right. So
in the planes
because we want to have a hit in Germany.
Right, but you said that wasn't true.
Don't think it's some high and mighty kind of philosophical reason that they do that. They do that so they can have a hit movie in Germany.
Now I got to look up how big does Germany play in box office rolls internationally, just to continue to prove all this.
Pretty
wrong.
big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
If there's one thing we know about the Germans, they love entertainment. That's a people whose culture is all about fun.
I'm just saying, if there's a dollar to be made somewhere, Hollywood will make it.
That they would alter an entire film just for the small 1% portion?
Why wouldn't they just...
That doesn't make sense.
Why wouldn't they just take...
Why they did it in Top Gun?
Why wouldn't they just erase that stuff for the print that they send to Germany?
I don't know. Can't answer that, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't answer it because you're making stuff up randomly.
Up.
No, I'm not.
I just proved the first one wrong about the IMAX.
You don't think that Christopher Nolan did this?
No, you read that off of Reddit.
And you said there was only in Top Gun, and Dunkirk just said they did it.
If you were to put the Nazi symbols everywhere, then you would just see the others as Nazis, and you wouldn't watch what the point he was trying to make with the movie, which is that war can be wholly stupid when you get down to the level of foot soldiers.
What they depicted in Civil War was just how absolutely brutal it is.
Yes.
How terrifying it is. Because I took a walk around the Bob Bullock, too, where they have a lot of the Civil War stuff.
Yeah.
And looking at all that, county versus county. Like us versus the dude over here.
Right. Let me
a couple of miles away.
Let me go back and just correct you.
Okay.
Okay. As I'm being accused of not understanding Hollywood.
Bob, sure.
As far as I know, I'm
Let's
the only guy
not make this
that's
segment
been
about Civil War. Let's
I feel
make
like
this
I'm the
segment
only guy
about you
that's been
fighting
in a
about
holiday
something that
movie.
doesn't matter.
The IMAX at Bullock is no longer 70 millimeter film. It's digital dual laser. All right. So you're not getting the IMAX film experience where the 70 millimeter film is running through a projector.
So they're just not delivering the IMAX film to them?
I'm just telling you that.
But they have the projector to do it?
What?
They have the projector, that's right, but not the film?
It's lasers. They had a 70 millimeter at one point, and they got rid of it. So a lot of people consider, film still film, Chuy.
Okay, well.
I mean, anyway. You won't be disappointed when you go, but it's not IMAX. As it was intended as a director.
But he did want to let you know you're wrong.
Right, because you let me know I was wrong.
Well, I'm going to call IMAX.
This is how Civil Wars break out, is this kind of BS right here.
The only 70 millimeter near us is San Antonio, and that theater is a trash heap, according to Reddit. It was removed. The one in the Bullock was removed in 2015. It's difficult to use and expensive to maintain.
Wow, bro.
So that's why they did it, because it's easier.
So we're not investing enough in our Bob Bullock
infrastructure, in our IMAX infrastructure.
This is where it begins.
But Christopher Nolan encouraged you to seek out the 70 millimeter print.
This one looked really good, so I don't know. What's the other one bringing?
I don't know. Real film experience.
So
just cinephiles can be like, that's real film, baby. And that's it?
Well, I don't know.
Seems like it's good quality.
I don't know. I'm just going after what the director intended.
The quality was better than if you went to some random small screen.
But the thing is, why did the director shoot it on 70 millimeter film and then recommend don't watch it on 70 millimeter film? Why would he do that? Explain that, because it's very hard to shoot 70
Civil War was shot digitally IMAX.
IMAX cameras are extremely heavy and big and hard to wield.
So will we do away with
so
IMAX
much so that Nolan normally only shoots certain scenes in 70 millimeter.
I don't think Civil War was shot in IMAX. It's just being projected in IMAX.
I think it was shot. I think some of it was shot in IMAX.
I stand corrected.
You're saying that the brutal part of Civil War is it showed, because when people go, well, there's going to be Civil War, and they say that, they don't actually think about what that means, do they?
No, here's the thing. Okay, so they depicted everybody in America.
What?
Some people's parents are just living in Missouri on a farm and thinking nothing, they're not paying attention to anything, nothing's going on, it's all good, nobody's bothering me. I'm just over here by myself.
Right.
And then, there's just literal gun exchange at night, wars going on.
Are there two groups? Do they have a name? Are there two groups?
That's the thing, is that it's not a uniform war.
You got to remember this. There are never two groups. There weren't even two groups in the United States during the Civil War.
Who are the other groups?
That's the thing, where people's brains are broken. Syria has been having a civil war go on for over a decade now, and there are cities that you live in, and there's nothing different. You're living there, and prices have gone up. But there are other places where it's horrendous to be there, and at any time you could be murdered, your family can be blown up, a member of your family can be taken and subjected to rape. It's horrific. And people change sides all the time and loyalties all the time. There's no organization. It's complete and total chaos. And when people say stuff like, well, we should just secede, it's an idiot's thing to say. It's an irresponsible thing to say, because it means that you've done no thinking about it. It means you've also never done any reading about any civil war in the rest of the world.
I think they depicted very well on how, kind of on pins and needles, like very tense, how it is operating in everyday life, like going to get some gas. And I don't know who the hell owns this gas station. I don't know what you believe. We didn't explain to each other who we are, who we're for. But they only had like the press truck, so I guess everybody stays unbiased, or I don't know, towards them. But it was very, very interesting to see how all of that would transpire. But I guess, I don't know, we won't see for another 4 years.
It's weird, because when we talk about in America now, the splits that we have are so different. The splits in the U.S. in the American Civil War, the splits were along some geographical lines, right? Mm-hmm. And we know what the cause is. Stop with your states' rights thing. We know what the cause was. Now, if we were to have a civil war break out on ideologies, it becomes much more brutal. Because how do you divide that? There are no clear dividing lines on ideologies. You know what I mean? There's no geographical lines on ideologies.
But it's just like how we pick political parties. I think you'll pick the side that you align closest to. Nothing's ever going to align correctly. I mean, exactly how you want. But I don't know. Honestly,
But
thinking
right.
about the film now, I don't know how they would do what they did, but I guess it's been years and years of a civil war already.
But if the authoritarians and the progressives decided to go into battle with each other, right?
Right.
You can't make those. There's no such thing as blue states and red states as much as people want it to be that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which state had the second highest number of Democratic voters in the last presidential election?
California.
Incorrect. They had the highest number of Democratic voters. Which state had the second highest number of Democratic voters in the last presidential
Texas.
election? Texas is the correct answer.
No wonder they joined forces to try to take out the third-term president.
Texas is the correct answer. And so when people talk about Texas being this red state, Texas has the second highest number of Democratic voters in the entire United States. There are more people in Texas that voted for a Democratic president than people in New York voted for the president, the Democrat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we have a higher number of red voters, but we still have the second high. I mean, so this idea that Texas is this through and through. I mean, basically you're saying 50% of the population of Texas would cleave off, and it's not like we can. How do you divide that? So a civil war in this country would be horrendous. It'd be disgusting.
I don't know where. I just don't think it's a super. Other than sensationalized ideology like politics, I don't think anyone. We're the lowest educated people in the country almost.
Who? Texas?
Yeah.
Oh,
almost.
I'm sure somebody would fight us for that.
We're bottom 10 for sure.
We can do better. We can get to number one.
But it'll be interesting to see how accurate it is because I think there's some people that would like a third term president.
Is the ending more like Barbie or more like the first Planet of the Apes?
I guess.
Am I going to leave? Am I going to leave scratching my head?
I don't plan on
Charlton
you liking it at all.
I don't think you're going to like it.
Because you don't like anything.
I don't like you right now.
Why? You're not.
I feel bad for you because you didn't see it in 70 millimeters.
Well, I can't drive to San Antonio.
You thought you did,
and I don't care.
You
about
just
that.
admitted that the San Antonio IMAX in the River Center or whatever. It's an S show of a theater, right?
But it's authentic. It's just.
And you're going to drive an hour and a half.
No, I don't. I didn't. I wouldn't.
So you only want to experience something if it's authentic.
No.
Because we leave here a lot of times and you go, let's go to Taco Cabana.
That's authentic.
I don't care.
Why are you getting mad today?
With that. Well, because you guys are challenging me. I'm obviously the foremost expert in here on film.
You haven't seen
I only have a degree in it. Show me your film degree. Where'd it go?
Where is it?
They shot Oppenheimer on IMAX film. 5 different formats, 5 different sprocket configurations. It was a very complex, very complex shoot.
Systematic.
Say complex one more time.
Hydromatic.
So you sat in classrooms for 4 years.
Yep.
So that today you could be a jackass to us?
You're the jackass.
Did they have 4K back then?
Huh?
Did they have 4K in class back then?
No.
No.
Tube television.
You know the song about the movies they had back then? Put a nickel in the Nickelodeon.
Shut up, Matt.
Elliot!
Guys, how are we doing this morning?
We're great.
Man,
What's
how
up,
are you?
Eric?
I work with a couple jack wagons, dude. I can't wait to have this show all by myself.
I
can't wait.
But you guys were talking about the Civil War thing, and I wanted to bring up the fact that a lot of people don't realize, and I wish it was brought more attention to, is that the only reason why we still continue to have Republican presidents, period, is we are still under this outdated electoral college system that was based entirely on the 3/5 majority, where back when slaves counted as 3/5 a person.
Right.
And that's where it skews those votes. If we could just get to, with the way the country is actually split, if we went to a one-person, one-vote election, at least for president, whether it was online, which why we can file our taxes online but can't vote online, I don't know why. We can pay them, but we can't vote.
You
But
can on American Idol.
Yeah, we can pay our taxes online.
I mean, be sad, be happy for
to
that.
Take our money, but not take our vote. But regardless, if we went to one person, one vote, what people don't really realize is we could never have a Republican president.
Well, the
majority of the country is Democratic.
The last Republican president would have been the first Bush. If we
was
were
elected by popular, yeah,
right. That was the last. That was the last president, Republican president voted by popular vote.
Sir, you're going to want to call 836-0590.
How do you know the number?
Huh?
You listen to it? How did you know the number?
No, because I looked it up.
I think that the key would probably be ranked voting at this point. We can't have the same dynamic of good and bad and what have you. It makes the media and everybody, it makes us very susceptible to just going against each other as opposed to doing something forward and progressive for us, the people.
Well, it's also not entirely fair that, like, my vote here in Austin counts less than some random, person in Montana's vote counting for, like, 3 or 4 because he chose to live out in the boonies. I don't see how people don't see
it's
that.
It's not. We need to get rid of that, the Electoral College and the whole gerrymandering that needs to be undone as well, and things will be fixed, but there's a lot of people that benefit off of that, so...
No, 100%.
Yeah. We appreciate that, Elliot, but what you're talking about right now is really going to cost some wealthy people even more money, and I don't think it's going to happen. So if I were you, I would shut up before someone shows up to your house in the middle of the night, some stranger, right?
Take you off in a black SUV.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
That's common sense. Get rid of them. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Thanks,
Bob.
Elliot. Appreciate it.
Bob, can we bury a hatchet?
Yeah, right now. Hang on a second. I'm sending Chuy the list of official IMAX theaters.
I'm never going to go. It doesn't mean that much to me.
I'll tell you, do you know the official list of quality, couples-focused adult boutiques?
Oh, I know.
Ooh.
Mornings with Matt and Bob presents Nods to the Odd.
Let's get into these nod to the odds, my friends. A London law firm is in a little bit of a trouble. They accidentally chose the wrong file from a drop-down menu on an online portal. A senior judge recently refused to overturn something that had happened because they said, well, we can't, the way it's being done. The couple is still in the process of arranging financial agreements. Someone accidentally selected final divorce on an online portal, and the couple has been divorced. They were not trying to get divorced. I mean, they were trying to go through a separation and figure stuff out, but in the very early segments. Now they're just divorced, but they haven't divided any of their stuff.
Right.
They haven't put any of the paperwork together. But they're considered divorced. And the firm said a strong public policy interest is there to respect certainty and finality that flows from a final divorce and maintaining the status quo that it is established. So we can't back it up.
Yeah.
Y'all screwed up. Y'all's fault. Final order be granted.
They're still married?
No. They're divorced.
Oh, good.
They are literally divorced because of a clerical error.
Oh.
Yeah. But they were literally trying. They were divorced 21 minutes after they went to go see a lawyer and said, we would like to try a trial separation,
Okay.
Start figuring stuff out. We want to start having a kind of an amicable thing, but we need to discuss. We have so many finances. We have the kids. We have houses.
Let me tell you a little secret. One of them really wanted it still. I mean, come on. Right? One of them already had a backup plan, and I think we know who that was.
It's usually the lady that has the backup plan.
Right. Just saying, I'm not trying to be a chauvinist.
That's like a lot of guys are like, well, we can work this out. And I will tell you that guys think that way because guys will try to work it. When a lady has made that decision, she already decided, bro, 18 months ago that she was done, and now she's figured out all the steps, put everything lined up.
Right.
And now, because a woman
Action plan.
A woman says, oh, there's the next vine. sets its sights on it, grabs out to that vine
Then
before
lets
letting go
yes.
of the previous vine.
I mean, this is a generalization, but generally we're right.
But before they let go of the vine, they've actually grabbed on to the next vine. A dude will swing into the open, let go of the vine, and then
next thing you know, they're buying groceries at CVS.
That's why you gotta stay in shape, husbands. Stay ready out there. You never know.
You never know.
It's that HEB at Burnett and Koenig.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I'm in there.
Oh, that used to be my old... Was that my old HEB?
Yeah, probably. Every time I'm in there, there's at least one dude I'll see who's getting like a Swanson's or banquet dinner.
Mm-hmm.
A
12-pack of...
It's usually like a 6-pack of Busch Light Tall Boys or something. Mm-hmm. And then one banana.
Maybe some cat food.
Yeah, and then as they pull up and they go, it's their turn, they go, oh, I'll need to, can you grab me a pack of smokes too? And I'm always like, God, it's just, it hurts me. And then when they open their wallet to pay, I'll see a picture of an adult child that I know probably hasn't talked to them in a while. Oh. And it makes me sad.
How can a man prevent this?
You got to make investments in your family. You got to stop making investments only in you.
That doesn't matter. If a woman's ready to go, she goes.
No, but
don't give them cause.
You got to make investments in your family.
It's gonna. It happens. It happens.
Just run everything you're going to say to your wife through ChatGPT before you say it. You'll be fine.
My wife's father, I'll use air quotes, father.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't very consistent at doing the parenting. Let's call it that. Okay.
Let's do.
I don't want to say he didn't know parenting, but he was certainly not consistent. He wasn't in the picture. He did show up for her 7th birthday, which she was very excited about because he showed up out of the blue. And that's exciting when you're a kid to have your dad, who you haven't seen in like 2 years, show up for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It was unfortunate when she went into her bedroom later after the birthday party and she found that he had taken her piggy bank.
He needed it. He'll give it back.
But I think he went through a lot of stuff. No. You don't have to stay. You don't have to be in shape, and you don't have to have all that money.
But if she takes off, you want to be ready for that.
You have to make investments in your family. Sometimes when all the guys are like, let's have card night, sometimes you don't need to go to card night.
And those are guarantees to stay in a marriage.
Did you ask me a question and I'm trying to tell you something and now you're fighting me? I asked you a question.
I said, how can he prevent from being that guy?
And I said, make some investments in your family. And as soon as I start giving you some answers, you go, oh, and that's a guarantee. No, it's not an effing guarantee. Stop being an a-hole.
My question was, how can he prevent from being that sad guy after the divorce?
After the divorce?
Yeah. I guess I've left that part out.
You did. Okay. You said, how can I prevent from being that sad guy?
Yeah.
So I said, make investments in your relationship. You're asking, how can I prevent from being sad after you get left?
Yeah.
You can't.
And be ready for that. Hit the ground running.
First of all, the dude that I saw buying this stuff the other day was wearing Sansa belts. No one has worn Sansa belts since 1987, and that was a thing that he should not have been doing.
I think he keeps a place of side money, stay in shape, and have maybe a side woman too. And then you hit the ground running. By the time that breakup
Can I say that if you're putting that much effort into how to be happy after you're being left,
maybe you should put
that effort into how to not get left, and you don't have to deal with being sad. Have you ever thought about that?
Cash in those Marlboro miles. No, you're right. You got to give everything.
Give it all.
Here's an amazingly sexist thing I'm going to say. All right, everybody lean in.
Won't be the first time.
Won't be the first time.
Not on this show.
Well, because this show we don't tend.
Right.
We don't say the things that, we're supposed to say.
Yeah, we're just sexist.
Right. No. It's way better. Way to be. Here, I'm going to say something very sexist, okay?
Uh-huh.
Ladies will give much more in return for a small investment.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. You'll come back tenfold.
Yeah.
Your gesture.
You put in. You put in 10.
Flowers.
A lady will give you back 100
in a marriage. Yeah, for sure.
And it's remarkable if you crack that code and realize that secret that you can continue to be kind of a lazy bastard if you make some very small gestures.
Yeah, gestures. Yeah.
A woman for, I don't know, genetics, training, whatever, will then receive those and pay them back.
Like a little neck rub
immensely
while she's washing dishes.
And I know some dudes out there right now. Are like, not my bitch. Well, maybe because you already took so many withdrawals that your 10% deposit, you're still in arrears, friend. And you have some. You got some fees you got to pay for overdrafts.
What he's trying to say is when upper allowance, say.
You two don't have the same dynamic, so I don't know if y'all have the same philosophies.
We don't.
And I don't know which one's correct. So, I wish y'all would fight over it. Maybe that'll be
Here's
a toxic
the thing.
Tuesday.
In my relationship with my wife, I'm a little bitch. And in Bob's relationship with his wife, he's a real little bitch. So we are very different in our relationships with our women.
But y'all get a lot in return.
Yes.
Yeah.
My life
An
is,
insurmountable.
look at me. I think this is why sometimes we talk to you about ladies. I know you're a different dude than us. My life is so much better, even with all the annoying S my effing woman does. So much better with my wife and my kids in it than it was prior. Yeah. So much better. Yeah. It's hard for me to admit that because you use the rose-colored glasses and you think about all the fun you were having. Mm-hmm. But what's easy for me to do is to also cancel out all the nights that I sat there on the sofa drinking and watching free TV.
Good old days.
But do you put all
good old days.
The good old days.
Do you put all the eggs in that basket?
Will you fight him? Will you pick up
I'm
your
just
fist?
asking.
Put your dukes up and fight this man.
Here, what he's saying is,
I know people
don't put all your banquet, hungry man, night hawk dinners in the same basket. Is what he's saying.
I'm just saying you got to reserve a little emotionally because I know people that have been devastated because they did put all their
You're being pessimistic.
eggs in that
That's
basket.
what it is.
Where they make Did you just? So you're saying don't be intimate with your partner? This is supposed to be nod of the odds, okay?
And I'm saying
90 to. I say, all right, we got to do a float real quick, and we'll come back. And
we're not even doing nod of the odd because now we're going to work our way into a Toxic Tuesday, aren't we?
Transition in the Toxic Tuesday after we tell you about Renegade Truck, renegadetruck.net.
All right, it's your Toxic Avenger here, your Toxic Referee for today. Today, Bob just made a statement about marriage. Maybe not putting your eggs all in one basket.
Put 11 of them in there.
Bob says
I got a baker's dozen.
Bob says you should always have one foot out the door, apparently, in a marriage.
No, I'm just.
You said don't fully commit.
No.
You just said women have a vine that they know they're going to swing on. So what's the difference?
No. When they're leaving.
I'm not saying.
When they're leaving, there is a big difference.
1 foot out is 50% out. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, just have a little in reserve in case it hits the fan so that you don't end up at that apartment complex at Steiner Ranch.
And this is an odd conversation for Bob and I to have because Bob and I are different people because I didn't take marriage lightly like Bob did.
Right.
Because Bob just was asking anybody in the world, hey, do you want to get married?
No,
that's why he's been married 7 or 8 times, you know?
Right. Okay.
I've only been married once because I put the good hard work into it beforehand.
Yeah, I learned something.
What'd you learn?
Go to DPS and run a background check.
Oh, come on.
That's what I learned. I recommend that before anybody gets married.
I wonder if anyone have done that with me.
Do
for everybody.
you know what I hate? Something I hate about you is that you won't tell more stories about the second.
I don't know who's still around or
he
what.
I don't want to
know what the legalities are. I'm
not
happy to be alive.
using any names and nobody knows the person. I don't know why you won't tell the stories of the fact that
don't forget about the person in Dallas that won't talk to me anymore.
I don't know why. That's different. I caused that problem for you. I'm the one that ran my mouth and caused that for you, and I don't know why you don't punish me more for it.
I don't. You were trying to defend me at a difficult time.
Also, you know why you don't get mad at me? Because I was right.
Yeah, we were right.
You don't have a Tuesday wedding.
I didn't use any name during an ice storm. I didn't use any names. And we blew it up beyond the real proportions of it, just for we do in radio.
Someone had a Tuesday wedding during an ice storm, and I told Bob, don't go.
In another city.
Let the people in Dallas go, but you don't have to go.
Send a nice gift.
Say I'm sorry, but there's an ice storm, and it's Tuesday.
I got back at 4 a.m.
And then
came on the show that day.
And then some Some little ratty rat out there decided to send her a copy of the podcast.
Right.
And she's on her honeymoon, and she hears us going, well, she sounds like a bridezilla. What the hell's wrong with her?
We never use those words. We blew it out of proportion. Just as
she blew her own wedding out of proportion.
Like Toxic Tuesday.
How old was she?
I listen, I don't want to get into it.
Was she 40?
I don't know.
Was she in her 40s getting married?
I don't know, Matt. I'm dead to her now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So she had raisins for ovaries. It's not even like it's a real wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Stop. That's Matt Bearden.
Wow.
Comedian Matt Bearden. See where
extraordinary.
I actually had a good time.
I would excuse somebody in their 20s for being enough of an idiot about a wedding to think it's important. That you got to be there.
That white knuckle ride on the way home and that freezing
a white knuckle ride.
Anyway,
so y'all come
you
to
didn't
the
even
conclusion.
do the intro.
I did. A quick one.
The quick one is, Bob says don't fully invest in your marriage. You said don't put all your eggs in your marriage basket.
I'm just saying I know guys that put 100% of everything. Like, this is it. She picks my clothes. She cooks my food. They're 100%. Like, I don't even. And then when it's over, they don't know what to do.
What do I wear?
They don't know what to do.
What on earth is don't turn your wife into your mother have to do with don't put all your eggs in one basket? How is that guy making any investment in his relationship if his wife is doing all the effing labor? Explain that to me.
Now
I'm saying a 95% investment is pretty good.
No person should become that codependent.
But hold a little bit back in case the S hits the you-know-what. So you're not completely devastated.
That's a different
you go,
That's a different... Hey, grow the F up is a different Toxic Tuesday topic altogether.
Okay. All right.
Grow the F up. No woman should be picking out your clothes. Grow the F up. You're not a child.
You're badgering the witness. I think he was trying to make a point.
I'm badgering
the witness. He was trying to make a point that not having all the eggs in that instance would make sense.
It sounds like sounds like you should have some nuts in the basket and not in a purse because I
don't know. It's different. You've got to gauge your own situation.
I'll write some
names down on some paper.
There are some men and some women who know where they're going.
You got to figure out who you is before you get married.
That's right.
We all know this now. I don't care really what age you are or whatever when you're getting married. I know there's all these gurus online now that have a hard date that they give you, and they say, well, if you don't you're a woman and you've used up your worth by this. And I'm not getting into that whatsoever. When I married my wife, she was an old, used up hag, and she's turned out to be fantastic.
Yeah.
She was an old crusty buns.
You can say that because she's in school right now.
I can say that because she's not listening right now. And if she does listen, I go, honey, I'm just trying to elicit laughs from the listeners. Right. Honey, when I say wife, I don't mean you, my actual wife. I meant this imaginary wife they don't know.
Like, I know some guys that are married, right? And their wives won't even let them have speakers in the living room.
Do they at least have a room of their own?
So what I'm saying is, you've got to keep some of yourself even in a relationship.
Okay,
but I know guys that don't keep some. I'm not talking about any of my best friends. I'm saying I'm knowing guys in the world that don't keep some of their own identity. They give all their identity to.
Right, they don't have their
spouse.
Hobby or sport they do on their own.
I know women do that.
That's somebody who wasn't paying attention when they were getting married.
Yeah.
No, it's somebody that's probably been in relationship to relationship to relationship that they don't know how to be an independent, regular person.
I see some young ladies interviews, like street interviews with young ladies, and they talk about what they expect from marriage, and I'm like, I get it. You're 23, you're out partying, and your brain is broken, and you don't understand what marriage is about. You think it is it's
more
transactional. You think it's all transactional. Well, I'll marry somebody who gives me a bunch of stuff, and that's because you have a weird you have a weird relationship with your father. When your father has babied you,
gave you that Monte Carlo.
Men do the same thing because they have parents that have babied them.
Let you take a gap year,
and at some point,
I don't know why I'm so against gap years.
I don't either.
I don't know how many times in my home I've had to go at like a full volume. There will be no gap year.
Except that's where some people grow the F up, is in a gap year.
Yeah, and they also
Here's the
end up not
thing.
going to school.
If there's going to be a gap year, there's going to be a gap in money coming from parents.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't you let your child go get a job at Home Depot and work for a year?
Right.
Your worry is that they're going to take. Your worry is that Mama is going to set up an underground railroad of funds into their apartment, and their gap year is here it comes. There it is. There it is. And your worry is, my son's going to get to party for a year on my dime.
Meanwhile,
with
I
no
can't
consequences.
have a Cybertruck. That's probably
Or
a bad thing to
speakers in the
bring up,
living
right?
room.
No,
Okay.
I have those, but it's my business. I was
think
smart.
I understand
I
you
made it
now.
my
It's-
business.
It's not.
512-834-0937.
Can you have
can weigh
speakers in your living room, guys?
Should you invest in your marriage? Should you fully dive in, or should you keep a little bit out in case?
But that sounds like
should
a
you
wild
always
question.
be ready to be left? This comes from growing up on military bases, where sometimes
true.
your dad came in at 2 a.m. and said, "I'm being deployed. Wake up.
You're not going to that high school anymore.
We
or
got
whatever.
6 hours to get on a jet, and they're going to fly us to Germany.
Can I say
Let's go."
goodbye to my friends, Dad?
No, you don't have any friends.
So I don't know. Just everybody y'all know, the marriages have worked out.
No.
So I don't understand how you can't be prepared for the big hammer drop.
You should be a little bit. Psychologically,
you can't
should
control
be.
the other person.
Psychologically, you don't, because you don't want to be devastated. You don't want to be at the point where now you can't function when it all falls apart. You're going to have to function at a higher level when it falls apart.
I've watched so many friends whose relationships are predicated on both people in the relationship pulling against each other, desperately trying to get what they want. Does that make sense?
That doesn't work either.
And what I'm saying is sometimes you have to drop that pretense and just invest and see what happens. Because that's where people... A lot of us go into marriage broken because we never got what we needed growing up.
Right.
And we think, oh, God, maybe desperately I can go and find a mark and get it. And even, you're not even looking at it to be evil. You just so desperately need. And I guess what I should have said is, hey, first, get your ass fixed. And by that, I mean get your head fixed. Grow the F up, get your head fixed.
You're supposed to want to do all these conventional things.
And once you get your head fixed, no, the marriage isn't for everybody. I'm not going to tell everybody they need to get married. I said it at the beginning. My life got infinitely better when I got married. And there are days that I fully regret being married. So it's not like it's like, oh, marriage is so great that there are days that I lust for falling asleep on the sofa when I wake up in the morning, there's a full beer in front of me because I thought, oh, for sure I need to have that last one, right?
Oh, my, there's chips and salsa on my coffee table right now.
I fell asleep. Oh, my God, exactly.
Right now. It's there right now.
Mary,
I'm going to go take a bite when I get there.
You got to floss. You got to do all that stuff.
God, I still floss.
Dude, I miss so badly waking up and I'm like, and hearing the American anthem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the end of our broadcast day.
Waking up at 4 a.m, my eyes are bloodshot. The old fire alarm is going off because the water ran out of the ramen that was boiling in the other room.
There's a pizza in the oven. You forgot to shut off the pizza when you were warming up the
There's 13
Dominoes.
beer cans on the piece of wood that I have suspended on 4 cinder blocks.
What time should that end? 35?
I don't know.
Because those were the days. But guess what? I also lived in such deep, dark, lonely depression back then that I was running away from. And I don't... Even when my kids are driving me crazy or whatever, my life is so much better. For me, I know I'm not one of these guys I'm not one of these guys who's going to start an internet channel that tells everybody, if you're not married, you're not doing it right. I can't tell for everybody. But my life is better and my relationship got better when I realized, oh, I'm supposed to be making investments. It mortifies me sometimes when I see like a picture of certain exes will come up or whatever, and I think about how I thought I was such a good boyfriend to them, and I realized, my God, I was such a horrendous person to them.
I looked
I thought
page the other day.
I thought like, oh, I don't do that, but I thought being charming and being nice and being like, yeah, go out with your friends, I don't care. I felt like that was a good boyfriend. I didn't realize like, oh, I'm supposed to. part of being in a relationship is helping another person.
Hey, in an infinite universe, are we on some planet? Are we with an ex?
I hope so.
Yeah.
You're having
so.
in an infinite universe. You're having intimate lives with intimate infinite. I can't even talk right now.
Or there's a different version, Jennifer, where you make all the money or something, and then she's like, it's all different in those universes.
In an infinite universe, am I still having that neighbor come over and go, look, I don't mean to be a jerk, but the noise coming through the wall is too much. Yeah. Y'all have to figure out a different time. And me going, dude, I'm sorry. She's just, I guess that's the way she is.
Yeah, I think that universe is happening. Caller.
Yeah, I love these topics when y'all do them. I'm just wondering, I asked Bob, how much emotion am I supposed to
5%.
He says 5% of your emotion you need to hold back.
5%, just so you can function if the guillotine comes down. You don't want to be so off guard. You don't want to be so off. In other words, start thinking about here's part of that 5%. Okay, and you don't have to go get a brochure and just what part of town would I like to live in?
Have the apartments picked out already?
If Maxwell Silverhammer
this is some
goes,
toxic ass stuff,
toxic,
right, dude?
But I love it. It's kind
I
of
can't
reasonable.
even believe you're saying this stuff, man.
Right.
It's toxic but practical.
If for some reason I have to leave the city, what is my secondary choice? Is it Tulsa? Am I going to be Tulsa King? Just saying, you don't have to reach out to the Chamber of Commerce. You just have it in the back of your head.
Just a thought.
That's part of that 5%. Okay?
And maybe you envision a life with the Chili's waitress for a moment. It's just a thought.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right.
I don't know if that's part of the
Sir,
5%.
how much are you married, sir?
Yeah, I called last time I called, we had a 30-minute conversation
Right.
on this.
Okay. How much do you feel that you should be investing in a relationship? What percentage emotionally?
100%.
Well, you're going to be real sad when you get chunked to the curb, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been married 30 years. I don't
You're
know.
ready.
I guess,
Yeah.
But Bob, what's the difference between being 95% rocked when she leaves you and being 100% rocked when you leave you? You can't make up that 5% somehow?
The guy that's only 95% doesn't beg and loses dignity.
Well,
Yeah,
I may
he
have the
does.
numbers
Yeah,
a
he
little
does.
off. I mean, don't hold me to the numbers exactly. I mean, if you just want to hold back 2.5%, do you? It's not even holding back. I explained it before. How did I explain it, Chuy? Just be ready. Just be vigilant and prepare.
Why do I have a bomb shelter with
Have
all
a
of
bug out
these
bag.
cans?
Bob's just saying never fully
Right?
be comfortable in your relationship. Well, how could that possibly be bad advice?
not in
Never
wartime.
fully trust your partner. What's wrong with that?
I got all these guns. It's not wartime.
You got a Nike gym bag, right? That you take to the gym?
Yeah.
Just put some snacks in there. And a couple water bottles.
And non-perishable items.
Yeah.
And maybe $500 or $600. And an ID with a different name on it.
Oh, my.
And a burner
Who are
phone.
y'all dating?
And a...
Vladimir Putin?
Thanks, dude.
Please don't be caught off guard.
I don't think he even shared an opinion.
Well, he did, but I know who he's a guy that calls us quite often. He's happily married. And that's a guy that I think he sometimes thinks the three of us are cavemen.
By the way, you can tell people you're investing 100%. Fine, do that.
Yeah, the same way they look thin in those jeans.
You can front.
Or,
No, that doesn't work. I think the people out there, you can tell when someone's fronting and they tell you how good their relationship is.
Those are the people I suspect the most.
Here's why you don't suspect me.
My relationship is perfect.
You got to post every time on Facebook?
Every time?
You're trying to fool everybody.
Here's why you don't suspect me. I tell you how much better my life is, and I also tell you that my wife was an old dried up hag when I married her. So you know that I'm being real.
I can't believe that.
Go on my Instagram, no pictures of my wife. Because ladies,
Hey, caller, go
I don't
ahead.
want you to know. There might still be a chance.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi. I've been married. I'm in my second marriage right now.
Good for you, sir. Hey, one more and you'll be in Bob's camp.
Hey,
it's not too late to get started, sir.
Third time's a charm.
You get a pin. I give you a pin.
You get it.
I'm with Matt. I'm the kind of person that's either all in or not in at all.
What happened on the first time?
It doesn't matter.
No, wait a minute. Were you all in, or is this a newfound philosophy?
Oh.
No, I was always an all-in kind of person.
Okay.
The thing is, in a relationship, it's about communication and trust, and if you have neither of those or only one of them, then the relationship's kind of doomed by nature.
And how do you know?
Go ahead.
How do you know if that person has all the communication and trust on their side?
Is she
you can control yours no matter what.
How many pictures does she put up of herself on Instagram per week?
None. She doesn't have an Instagram.
Yeah, I wasn't really asking you. I was kind of asking Chuy because Chuy's question was, how do you know if you can trust your girl? And I'm telling you, I'm asking you, how many pictures is this girl putting up?
Oh, if she posts on Instagram, she's unfaithful?
I can tell you how many. How many? Every time I see one of these,
that's toxic. And I love it.
I keep seeing pictures of these moms who go, "Love being with my boy." Anytime when you take a selfie and your sad kid is in the background and you are pretending it's a picture of your child, but we know it's a selfie,
right?
I'm proud of my sad son.
And then when you have a name that's not like even your real name, it's like some kind of enchanted.
Yeah.
Sir,
name, like,
you got your heart
like,
broke after the first one, but you were able to overcome, and now you found another lady, right?
Yeah, and it's just kind of a thing of, at least for me, if you're not willing to go all in and be vulnerable in the relationship, then you aren't ready for the relationship to begin with.
Please don't use the word vulnerable because that gives me douche chills. I'm still a broken,
We're still
toxic.
from Texas.
We're still toxic dudes who are not very worldly.
But do you feel like you're well prepared if the worst would happen? That's all I'm saying. I think you're misconstruing what I'm saying.
For somebody that's been through a divorce, he should be, right?
I'm mentally capable.
Or are you just gonna fold like a tent?
Fold in what way? Are we talking about
emotionally? I'd be in a wreck, like not know what to do.
Be at the CVS getting groceries.
Well, I'm kind of a broken person. Have been for quite a while.
Well, of course you are. You listen to this show. If you had your S together, you'd be over on Booker and Alex, bro.
Hey, don't leave her out. Don't leave
Audrey. I'm sorry.
Audrey out. Award-winning show.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, when you say fold like a tent, here's how you should know if you should get married. If you can set up and break down a tent with your significant other without you all beating the S out of the guy, you're a good couple.
Or better yet, go on a ski trip. If you survive that.
Yeah.
No, a tent's like a kitchen. Stay out of here. I'm cooking.
Dude,
Just
when you
stay over
start
to the
setting
side.
up a tent, there's nothing will try a relationship more than setting up and breaking down a tent.
Gather some firewood. I'll be done in a second.
Right.
Well, because men use man. I learned this from my wife and my daughter have taught me. They said you use man voice. And I've always said, why are you accusing me of yelling? We're trying to get the tent up. And they say, see how you're talking? And I go, and I realized, men talk to men in a certain way.
Command and like kind of jeering a little bit.
Bro,
too.
don't grab that stick. Dude, grab that. No, there.
Right.
That stick, dummy.
That stick, idiot.
We don't put honey. We don't put honey on the front of every sentence.
We have expectations of other men, especially when on like a job site.
And when you set up a tent with your wife, you go, oh my God, isn't this crazy? Look at these sticks are so weird.
Well, we're glad it's all working out for you, sir. I mean that sincerely. He's probably gone already.
Here's to the next 40 years, sir.
Yeah, no. I'm glad. I mean, I don't wish.
If it all falls down, are you going to call us back?
Yeah, hey, but let me ask you a question, sir. What?
Chewy, if it falls apart, I'll call.
Okay, hey, what area of town have you decided you're going to move to when you get left?
When I get left, oh boy.
The answer is the other side of town. You don't want to see her with the new dude.
Yeah.
No, the answer for this guy is the Hancock Cemetery. That's a telling laugh. That's a telling laugh.
All right,
he's
buddy.
like, bro.
Do some independent healing, all right?
Yeah, put some speakers in your living room.
Love y'all. Love the show.
Love you. Let's go to a lady finally. Rita.
Oh, Rita.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Rita.
I was wondering if y'all are familiar with the 5 love languages, and do you apply it to your relationships, and is it effective?
I don't know if mine was accurate.
I don't have the time.
I think I mostly like physical touch, which I guess just means I'm a pervert.
This is America. In America, we speak English. I ain't learning no other languages. I'll tell you that right now.
I ain't pressing 3 for love language.
That ain't it. That ain't it. It's America, and you speak American.
Sometime in the show past, I thought we explored love languages.
We should probably go through it again, though, because if you ask me right now what they are,
will you find us the test and send it to us?
It's everywhere.
Sure.
Let's do it when we come back. I know one of them is like acts of service.
There's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
There you go. See? Bob knows.
Yeah.
Well, he just read it off of a chart, okay, Rita? He doesn't get credit for that. For what? Google? Now he's the best husband? Google.
Well, you have to apply it, they say.
Okay, we're gonna look at we're looking into that in just a second, Rita. We got to pay some bills, okay?
Thank you, Rita.
Bob, tell the fine folks about Law Tiger.
There's actually 7 love languages. Law
They
Tiger
added one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, really? They them language.
What's that?
The 7 new love language. They added,
that's a deal? Just kids,
added,
you could be, I identify as a love language.
They added activity and appreciation.
Why don't you appreciate this? So now Bob's in trouble.
Yeah.
God, this show.
I mean, listen, I've got some good friends out there, and because I make one example, right, i.e. speakers in the living room, which is pretty universal. Women
almost standard.
Don't like speakers in the living room.
They certainly don't like
floor standers.
Now, if you want to put a little bookshelf hidden somewhere, especially if you want to decorate the grill to look like the spines of books.
Now all my friends are saying, stop talking about me.
So what should this person give in order to get a lot like speakers back? Because you got to give a little and you get a lot. In this marriage, let's say it was in Matt's marriage. What would you have to give to get speakers?
I have speakers in the living room.
Yeah. Damn.
My wife and I don't.
Most real men do.
Yeah.
So this guy isn't giving enough.
If my wife said, I'm not comfortable with speakers.
I'm not talking about this guy. He was not thinking about him in my mind when I did that example.
This is literally how the
all mad
conversation
at
would
me.
go in my house. If I put up speakers in the house and she came home and like, I don't know if I like those. I'd be like, well, Can I put a plant on them or something? Because I mean, that's...
Because that always looks good, that water ring on top of your walnut.
Yeah, but
veneer.
I'd be like, but honey, there's... What? I mean, how else are we going to have effing music in here?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't have... I mean, I will say I'm probably pretty bossy about some stuff because every once in a while she wants to hang up a doily or a picture of a dragonfly or something.
80
I'm like,
pillows on the bed is fine,
like, honey,
but a pair of JBL 100s?
Honey, when people come over here, I don't want them thinking we live in an old woman's house. And then she goes, but we literally have no art on these 8 walls. And so it actually looks, and I go, well, I would rather it look like we are tasteless than we have bad taste. How about that?
Right. Rather look like we're moving.
Man, you better start working out and get ready, find a place.
Why? You think my wife...
pick an
honestly,
apartment.
hey, you see my wife and I together. You think she's leaving me?
I think y'all have a good back and forth. I like that. That's what I would do.
Is your love language like mine? I figured out mine has got to be acts of service because I don't do any of the other ones very well. Physical touch, but only certain times of day or night.
Yeah, I don't know about enough PDA or anything, but yeah.
I will do the stuff in the house that nobody wants to do. You know what I mean?
Like everything?
I will take out the trash. I will cut stuff up and throw it away. And
he will go get a job.
Yeah.
He will go get a job and pay for his rent. All the stuff no one else wants to do.
Dude, he's going to lead the show on that one.
I do all
He's going to lead the show if we start making those jokes.
I do all the stuff that no one wants to do. So I guess acts of service is my love language. As far as giving, as far as receiving.
Next week on Toxic Tuesday, can we talk about launching kids in the modern generation?
Sure.
I think it would blow the effing phones up.
Absolutely.
I think it would blow the entire
Bob thinks he's alone.
Remember?
Bob thinks he's alone, and it's the number one topic so many of my friends talk about.
It's like the only and the thing is that I like because it is an economy issue, like 100%.
It's also a pandemic issue, I think.
It's also people believing.
No, but I mean, kids got broken during that period. They got ripped off.
It's also people making excuses for not getting off their ass,
maybe
getting a goddamn job.
Spoken like a true acts of service guy.
No, it was spoken like I was channeling my father right there.
What do you think your love language is, Chuy? Of acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, words of affirmation. I'm talking about giving, not receiving.
It's usually a gift or act of service when I'm expressing my love.
Okay.
And then receiving it, I just like the time and the touch, the quality time. And
I would say mine,
because I'm very, I don't know if this person's attracted to me or not. I need some affirmations.
I'm not even sure quality time is possible in this day and age, but I think words of affirmation is what I like to receive.
Yeah,
I would say gifts, but normally I feel guilt, like I'll take them back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll feel guilty. Like if my wife handed me a Rolex right now, right? Mm-hmm. I'd look at it. I'd take it in and out of the box.
Yeah.
But I'd put it back in the bag and say, this is not practical.
Well, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Because you could take that, sell that on the secondary market and make money for your family.
Oh, well.
But making money isn't one of your love languages, is it?
I could be 30 years into a marriage and be like, this person don't like me. Did she ever like me?
Here, my wives have to be quality time. No doubt.
Right.
My wife
is a planner.
I can tell you this right now. If I was barely employed and we lived like poor asses, well, I don't know, because we've been out of being, I mean, when she and I were first together, we were poor asses. Mm-hmm. And now we've had our needs met long enough. I don't know. It's hard to go backward, right? But she even told me back in the day, she's like, I don't care about purses. I don't care about jewelry. I care about having family. That's super important to her. I think part of that is that, she's, she didn't really have parents.
She's an orphan.
Yeah. She's in a weird position that I think a lot of people out there are in. She's an orphan who's been forced to care for her parents later in life, which is a weird thing to do, because generally if you're an orphan, you just move on, right? But she's an orphan that also has the burden of caring for these parents.
See, I had the adverse effect where I started to value it less.
Value what? Family time?
Yeah.
But you make time for your mother every single weekend.
I do, and it started out of just...
Does she know that when you hang out with her that you don't value it?
She does now.
I mean,
my wife's quality time, physical touch. She's a huge Genesis fan.
Are you serious?
What?
Or was that just a joke?
Genesis?
No.
Physical touch and quality time. I can tell.
That's what she wants.
That's what she wants.
Okay.
What she gives are acts of service.
Okay.
It makes me feel guilty. My mother was an exhausted person, and when she would clean, it was always we were going to be punished while my mother cleaned. If she cleaned,
that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, it was. If she cleaned on the weekend, she would cry and be sad and be angry with us that we didn't respect her, we didn't love her, and it would ruin a whole weekend, right? Mm-hmm. And my wife she'll say, take the kids, go. And she wants to shine up the whole house. And
send her over.
I said the other day, I said something to her, I said something about, well, no, we couldn't do that because the whole damn house would fall apart if you didn't exist for a day. The three of us would be on the streets. And she said, that's all I needed.
No.
She's like, I need you to recognize how essy your life would be.
I feel like that's the
I recognize it every day. I recognize it every day.
You need to be needed?
But
I mean, who do they call when the television sound goes out? You know?
It just sounds like you're in a house full of people that aren't capable of things.
Because they're used to me picking up the slack.
I think the things I like are words of affirmation.
Yeah. I like gifts.
I'm needy there. Like, I got to hear it. Like, hey,
thank you, Daddy.
Thank you for making it where even during inflation, we don't have to panic because you were an asshole to us earlier when we said, can we please get this? And you were like, no, we ain't spending that money. It needs to go into the savings account. But guess what? Right now, guess what? We haven't had to say, well, we got to buckle up. We can't do those things because we have some emergency savings because I was a prick before. See how I like a little bit of throwing that back in your face, a little bit of guilt. I like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the other ones are. I think words of affirmation is my receiving gifts.
I do like receiving gifts.
I think
words
I like
of affirmation. I like better.
Quality time is definitely not one of mine. Oh God, I hate spending time with my family.
Well, that requires planning most of the time.
I really couldn't care less about a gift.
The only thing I want quality time with is my phone.
I mean, I think I've had some thoughtful gifts that I like.
I'm taken for granted.
I don't like acts of service. I don't like quality time. Quality.
I don't like quality time is crazy, though. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be your love language, but you should like the quality time you have with your partner, right?
You know, the other night I cleaned out because I think we're done. There's no more freezes this year, are there?
I don't think so. I mean, not till November, December.
Because I cleaned out the fireplace the other night while she was out down at the neighbors.
Did you tell her?
No, I thought she would just see it. It's right there in the living room. You would think it's right.
Who comes in and looks into the...
Bob, they call that the bare minimum.
Cleaned it out, dude. All the ashes, the grate.
Now
put some nice like decorative logs in there for like, you know.
You took an S in there?
That's a good one, Matt. Should have done that one last Wednesday night. I thought for sure she'd come back and go, "Oh, thanks for sweeping out and cleaning out the fireplace."
Wait. You're not supposed to do acts of service in exchange for words of affirmation.
Oh, you're not?
That's... It sounds like...
Who said that? Who said that?
I think you're supposed to do some of these things selflessly.
Well, I did.
But if you're doing them in order in an exchange, you might get yourself in a bind.
Well, I'm just saying she didn't ask me to do that. I did that on my own volition. I don't even know what volition is. But I thought I'd get a little something.
Yeah, because I like
back.
cooking too.
What do you think?
I like cooking for.
What do you think your wife? What do you think your wife's? What do you think your wife's love languages are? What do you think?
Hers is to me.
Yeah, it's not words of affirmation. I've heard her go, "Oh, Bobby, stop it,
Bobby.
He'll be fine."
I love when she has to do that.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding one.
He'll be fine.
Do you have the one that has this list of 7? Maybe.
Her love languages are...
I know what she wants. I know what she strives for, but we can never achieve it because we're running too fast.
Her love languages are eye rolls and gift cards to your sons.
And kissing your teeth.
I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I'll get back to you tomorrow.
You gonna see
It's
it?
definitely words of affirmation. I mean, she's a words of affirmation person.
She is?
But not when it's normally not when I need them. Like, timing is everything there. Don't you think?
Yeah, I was already feeling good. I didn't need that.
But then when you really need them, like when you clean the nasty fireplace of all the ashes and everything, like, hey, where my words of affirmation
Where my
at?
hug at?
It's such a weird one to have laid down, too. Hey, notice anything about the house?
No, you get all sooty. You got to lay out plastic. You got to get something that's hard, and I'm going to paint it.
Do you not own a shop vac?
I'm going to paint it too. The inside, I'm going to paint the.
You got to paint a fire in there?
You paint it every year?
I get that high temperature
every year.
Yeah.
You're just making work for yourself. That's
No,
why
I know.
she's
It
not
looks
saying
nice. It looks
anything.
nice.
She's like,
you
you're
run
doing
out of
this.
things to do?
It sounds like no, I got a ton of things to do.
Well,
Yeah,
then I'd
you
spend
made
a
all
little
those up.
less time painting the inside of your fireplace and get to work on something real. Sounds like you're just trying to put off what needs to be done.
Who looks at the inside of your fireplace?
Santa Claus?
It's months away.
I got to do the other one.
That's a lot of paint.
Did we ever do... Are we caught up on anything? Did we ever do a Waters? Did we ever do a Law Tiger?
No, we need all that.
How did we get? We got ahead. How did we get behind?
We're on time, kind of.
Did you do a Law Tiger recently?
Yeah.
Did you do a Waters? You did the Waters, didn't you?
No, Waters is the one I haven't done.
Do it right now, you idiot.
Okay.
That's my love language, is calling you an idiot, Bob. Someone wrote the other day and said, I don't know why Bob doesn't punch you. You call him an idiot all the time. Do people not get our relationship and who we are?
No.
I'm in here. I would have punched.
Sometimes I don't.
Full phones Friday, even though it's Tuesday. Our phone lines are completely full, so let's get on to that. Mornings with Matt and Bob. Remember, live show with us at Moon Tower Comedy this Saturday afternoon at 4:20 in the afternoon. You can buy individual tickets at austintheater.org or just Google Moon Tower Comedy. It'll take you to a ticket link, and you can buy tickets for our show there. We'd love to see you in the crowd. Let's hit these phones.
All right, let's head to our first caller. Michael?
What's up, Bob?
Hey,
what's up, man?
First time, guys.
Oh, all right.
Thank you. We'll be gentle.
All right. A little twist on the love language.
Yeah.
I had heard that it's not about what your partner needs to give you, it's what you need to give yourself.
Really? All right, now you're getting all like Zamfir on us here, right? I don't even.
Didn't Texas block those sites?
I've been touching myself. I've been touching myself for a while, so I don't know.
Well, if
mine's definitely receiving gifts.
If you need to give yourself words of affirmation, you're always expecting your partner to do it, and they kind of don't catch a clue. You give it to yourself, and next thing you know, you kind of you get it. You love yourself more.
I'm having a breakthrough I don't want right now.
Yeah, that you haven't done enough self-care.
I want to laugh at you, sir, and go get off of the phone.
We may cry.
No, I won't cry, but there's that thing in Texas too, where even when we talk about this stuff as three dudes, we're like, come on now.
Can you play that song, I've Never Been to Me?
Yeah, put a callus on your hand and get out there and do something real with your life, because we're all from Texas and that's how our brains think. But you said that right now, and I was like, that's stupid. And then I started thinking, I said here 20 minutes ago into this microphone, I say, well, words of affirmation, and I realized that my internal voice about the stuff that I do is so horrendous. The horrible things that I say to myself all the time.
You have a dad voice to yourself.
Jesus, this song.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just need to take a longer shower.
Maybe that's why I want that so badly from people around me, is because Yeah. Oh, man. I got to go home. I got to go home. I had a breakthrough.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Love you guys.
You ruined them.
Love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm tearing up a little bit. I don't give myself enough self-care.
Georgia and California and
Did Jim Steinman write this one
I don't know,
too?
but this song makes me so sad, because this song was on the radio when my parents were getting a divorce, and I remember my mom driving around in our big giant Oldsmobile with her newly curly hair, because that was a big style, was the perm.
Yes.
Probably smoking a Salem. I think she may have still smoked back then.
Okay.
Driving around outside a mall crying.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Let's go to Sherman. Is it Sherman?
Hey, what up?
What's up, man?
Hey, you guys got to cut Bob some slack. If he paints the inside of every single fireplace, that's like 100 hours of labor.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's funny that I missed the joke. When you said I cleaned the fireplace, I didn't even say which one.
Here we go.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
You make a very good point, Sherman.
Thank you.
Very good point. It is exhausting. How many cans of paint does it take to paint the inside of your fireplaces?
1 quart.
I don't know, like a whole truck full of Sherman Williams? I don't know.
Sherman Williams.
Be good, Sherm.
Hey,
Take care.
Thank you,
I'll see you
Sherman. Thanks for
online.
reminding me. I got to do the other one now.
I don't even know which one of these guys to take first, but David's been calling in for hours, and I'm sorry, David.
Oh, my God. All right. Hello, David.
Hello.
Hello. I'm not mad.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you mad?
No, I'm cool.
Okay.
Hey,
No, I'm cool.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all heard about that little baby in Houston? It was born with no eyelids.
God, I've heard this one.
You have?
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of skin they use? Oh, I jumped
I
ahead.
can't hear you.
I jumped ahead too far. Go, keep going.
Chuy.
Yeah.
Chuy.
Yeah, I'm right here, baby.
I'm not mad. This is the timing is
Are you mad?
everything, and you're just so good at it.
Y'all know what happened?
What? He had no eyelids, yeah.
Just they circumcised him, and the doctor said they could use the foreskin of eyelids.
And
y'all
he
want to
came-
know how it turned?
He came out a little cockeyed?
Yeah, but I got one you're not going to get, okay? You ready?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, this is serious. Why do they put 3 handles on smart cars on each side?
What's a smart car?
You know the ones in Austin that keep parking and nobody driving them? And they call them traffic jams?
So
And they've got 3 handles in each side. I haven't seen that.
So it can be a
You know
hearse.
why?
Yeah, because when you get killed in it, they just lower you down. Your pallbearers. I love y'all.
All right. Thank you. He's been calling since 7 for those.
Since 7 a.m. he's been calling with that?
He stayed up all night writing.
His love language is acts of humiliation. Yeah.
He does have a humiliation kink, I
think he's got a kink, which is if I get a 15 shares worth of an audience, God, we're not going to shut up about that, are we?
It's not going to happen again with calls like that. And then you ready for me to make it even worse?
Don't go to Connor. He's calling about the GDs is what he's calling about.
Dan!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, I know a lot about this. I've got a dual degree in engineering and law.
Yeah, I know. You keep reminding us.
I've helped two ladies finalize their divorce decree. And
by sleeping with them while they're still married?
No. I did the work pro bono.
Pro bono.
I see what you did. Oh, yeah. We get it.
Real quick, we're almost at the end of the hour here.
Oh, thank you.
Hurry along. Sorry there.
He's on the show now?
Yeah. All right, guys, enough of the laughter. Come on, let's move this along.
The people in you start out with the couple in England that involuntarily got divorced, and all divorce decrees at the bottom when the judge signs it, it says final divorce decree. There's no such thing as undoing a divorce. You can appeal the terms of it, but when you're divorced, it's over with.
Correct.
People would be trying to undo it all the time, but there's an opportunity in this. All they have to do to fix it is get remarried. And, there's some love stories there. Bree Osmond, Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor. Even my buddy Elon Musk has been married twice, the same woman. So all they have to do is get married again, and that would fix it. I think that's beautiful when a couple can get divorced and then remarry the same person. That's true love. You've been through all the rough water and know the ins and outs of the situation. Anyway.
Yeah. Dan, your phone's going a little in and out. You using one of those electric phones? You need to get yourself a gas phone is what you need to do.
Yeah, ice.
Yeah. Got any better off the speakerphone?
Yeah, it's better now, but we're done.
Dan, how long have you been calling the show? You know we have a rule about goddamn speakerphone. And I know you're mad about the GD, but I'm giving it to you because you know that you broke the rule.
Your punishment.
Your punishment is you had to hear a GD because...
You have to admonish me once.
Okay.
And, Bob is right about this holding back 5%. 80% of divorce decrees are filed by the wife, that the wife initiates the divorce most of the time. So,
Dad...
Because once again, she has to do all the work in the house, right?
Yeah,
she even has to file for the divorce.
He just never made it there, just like the step that he's been trying to fix in the backyard.
Guy's just sitting on his recliner and he's like, whoa, a divorce decree? Can you bring it to me, honey?
Most guys are blindsided when a constable with a gun and a badge shows up at their door. That's usually the way it goes.
Chewy isn't. He expects it about once a week.
Mm-hmm.
You again?
You know what? Most societies are more advanced. Most societies, everyone has a spouse or wife, and a mistress is a backup system. It just works better.
Girlfriend, and mistress.
I'm not going to fight you on this one. I've tried to explain to my wife that we should be more worldly and international, and I should be, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I should have a young girlfriend across town.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way it doesn't get messy.
Trying to make it work with one person 100% of the time is not realistic, but having a backup system works for me. I've got one spouse and 3 mistresses. It's working out.
And after this is where it gets
not
real
for
toxic.
Anybody else, but for him.
It gets real toxic after you have spent a nice time with the mistress. When you come back home,
yeah,
you're fixing all the stuff you haven't fixed in a while.
Right.
You're doing all this stuff like it's. I think there might be something to it.
Well, because you feel a little guilty about what you just did, so you go, well,
and you make it up to the one that you honor.
Yeah, I better get the toilet seat fixed.
Yeah.
Right, the honey-do list.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much time we got left?
Honey-do list turns into a honey-did list when you got a little side action.
How much time we got left, Dan?
Last week you went till 10:30, but I think the hours ought to be 6:30 to 10:30 would be a better slot.
Okay, well, I think the hours ought to be shut your mouth. Maybe we don't want to keep working
I'm
extra.
trying to still make breakfast, Dan. I love breakfast, and you want me to miss it every day?
Yeah, we haven't eaten.
You going to bring me
I'm
breakfast?
I'm going to come to the podcast. What venue is that?
It's
Which
I think it's
theater is
nine.
that
It's
at?
called 900.
800 Congress.
800 Congress.
It's going to be at the top of the Frost Tower.
No, it's across the street from the Paramount. It's a space that like an event space that they commandeer for the festival.
You'll
put
see
a
the
stage
on the
in
west
there.
side of the street.
It is on the west side of the street.
That is correct.
You'll see the big 800.
Okay.
Yeah, it says 800, and you're on Congress, and when you see the 800, you go, I bet that's 800 Congress.
You'll see the smoke coming out.
You'll
of the
see the
building.
line.
Yeah, huge line.
I went to
of people
comedian named
disappointed that they're
Martin
not.
Urbano.
Yeah, how was Martin Urbano?
The entire theme of his show was that he was a child pedophile.
Yeah, there you go. How was it? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it didn't work well. Anyway,
I don't
know if it's your brand, Dan.
I am looking forward to seeing Rachel Feinstein this Thursday. I got a date lined up for that one.
Well, now that she's gotten word of that, she'll be canceling her show.
Yes.
All right.
And Dana Gould canceled. I'm really upset about that, but we'll see him next year.
Yeah, he had a work thing come up.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's time to wrap it up, okay? Let's put a bow on this one.
Hey, it's good. I like that our callers are conscious of our breaks and time. Takes a little relief off of us.
Mm-hmm. It is funny that they've trained themselves to know where, they know where breaks
Just the way
are.
he says it, so authoritative.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys, we got to do this.
Hey, we got to
gotta
wrap
get
this
out of the way.
up.
Come on,
Before
guys.
we do, let me get this in.
I hate to jinx a show by saying that it was fun, but it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
You don't have to say it. You can just give away some tickets.
We're going to give away some tickets. Here's what I'm going to do. If you want a code word to win the Ronnie Chang tickets, or, oh no, let's save all the Aerosmith for tomorrow.
Okay.
You got to get a code word, but in order to get the code word, you have to listen to me through a live read. Sound good?
Oh,
and that
okay.
gets us back up to time, right?
All right.
Will you do the time math in your head or whatever to figure out what we have to do here? Thank you, baby doll.